but every other hour is going to be normal.
Patrick's all business. Attaboy, Patrick. I am sitting in the Windermere Club, calling this the grill room, I believe.
You're up.
Oh, it's nice to be out of the garage. I'm not going to lie. And I'm going to rub it into you guys here. The sun's about to come up over the water out at the Windermere Club. I'm probably going to be that annoying positive guy all morning. I'm just going to go ahead and warn you, Bill. I'm going to be that guy. And it looks like, just from your physical reaction, that it's probably a good thing you're still sitting at your house right now. Yeah. And Patrick's manning things in the studios in downtown Columbia.
Yeah, I think just health-wise, sitting one out is probably the best direction for me here today. But we'll bounce back. We'll do it again. I'll bounce back and we'll make it happen again. But you look good out there. You look good. You look happy to be out. I know you gotta be a little tired. I know energy's driving you right now because right. I gotta admit, guys, halftime. I said that's it. I'm not staying up for this.
Man, I had the internal conflict. I was like, well, we just saw that run, right? I mean, this thing is not really in doubt. I should probably go to bed. I got an early morning on location, the Windermere Club, the golf tournament. It's going to be a long day. I should probably go to bed. But something inside me was like, yeah, come on. Be a professional. It's your job. It's one night. You can still get some sleep. You got the weekend to catch up. So I made it. Made it the whole way. And Bill, you didn't miss it.
No, I didn't. I would have stayed up. I was going to, but the last what 6 minutes was so bad
that I said, half you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah. I said no. I'm not going to do this. That was awful. That was such bad.
You made it personal. No.
Well, it was just like it was 27-24, I believe. And then the way that they finished the run there, I mean, just absolutely ridiculous.
14-2 run at the end of the first half. 76-59 is what Bill's talking about. Ole Miss finishes off the Gamecock season last night, and I got to give Carolina some credit, and maybe last night's game just really sums up the season in a lot of ways, man. First of all, 2 guys out, didn't play. Jermaine Couisnard and Keyshawn Bryant. And then Seventh Woods as well. So you could say 3 guys out. The way the television broadcast came off anyway, it was these 2 guys weren't playing because of a coach's decision. And then afterwards, the Frank Martin explanation was they were dealing with a physical injury, and he didn't play him because of mental health reasons, which we'll play you that comment, and we'll get into that as we roll on. But curious, I think, is maybe the best way to describe that, or a little confusing, or the whole thing, kind of like this entire season. And then at times during last night's game, man, that was an energetic bunch that came out. And you saw some good plays, back-to-back alley-oops, I think, at one point there. Trey Hannibal throwing one down one-handed. Then he threw one up to Wildens Levesque, I think, who put it in. And Carolina was a spirited group at times. And then that run you're talking about, Bill, that basically sealed it. And Ole Miss goes on to cruise to a double-digit win. And it's 6-15, the final numbers for the Gamecocks on the season, in one that we did not see coming in so many ways.
No, we didn't. And, just back to last night's game for a minute. It was interesting because the first half, I'm going to be interested. I think Ben Briner had a really good tweet at the end of last night. I woke back up. It was kind of one of those things. I went to bed, woke back up, saw your tweet about the end of the game. I was like, oh, okay, there's the final score. And then Ben Briner has got a tweet out, and it's like just about how the next few weeks are going to be very interesting, and they're going to be kind of weird. They could be awkward. It's gonna be something around here with what may happen with Frank Martin or what's going to happen here regarding South Carolina basketball. Let me see if I can find it real quick here and just repeat it here since I'm speaking. It says Gamecock season. This is 6 hours ago, so midnight. Ben Briner, who is, I believe, he's not with the state. I think he's left. Or he is former. Yeah, he's former, but used to cover South Carolina for the state. Gamecock season ends, was not a good one, didn't end on a good note. note. Now we settle in for what could be a weird few days or weeks. And that's exactly the way I feel. But watching last night, the first thing I thought is Frank's going to say something about how they finished the season trying to be more of the team that he likes to be, which is an interior team. Because you saw an effort early to go to Levesque, McCrary, and Minot and utilize the post players. And the announcers kept talking about that. And I wonder if that's what we're going to get when I don't know. Frank's going to address the season here, I guess, in the next few days, maybe the next week or two. And I'm guessing we'll get some kind of breakdown of what's going on.
Patrick, looks like you're chomping at the bit there to weigh in on Gamecock basketball and the situation it's in now after the 6-15 season, 9 years of Frank Martin, and really kind of the confusion that was this year.
Yeah, not necessarily chopping at the bit. I mean, I didn't even watch the game last night because it started too late. I had to go to work, so I was spared from that. But I was just, because I had to cut up some of it, I was just listening to his post game from last night, and first thing he did was go on some long rant about how the media can't call this season a disappointment. How dare you do that? And if you want to blame anybody, blame his coaching, but it's unfair to call this season a disappointment. And I was just thinking, how could you possibly call this anything other than disappointment? It's like, I wish you guys would cover it like the way other schools cover theirs. It's like, okay, well, you know, Mike Bray is a DC guy, and Notre Dame fans were chanting fire Mike Bray last week, and Notre Dame definitely had a disappointing season, and they're covering it just that way too. I mean, I appreciate everything that happened this year. I appreciate them for getting through it, but yeah, it was a disappointing season, and I don't know. I just get annoyed when it takes shots at the media for literally just doing what we're supposed to do, and we get texts every day saying, "Can we just stop talking about basketball?" And when your team's not doing well, there's really no good way to cover it and talk about it. And I don't know. I think most people, like me, like most people, are just glad the season's over.
Well, that big exhale, I think, is where a lot of people are at that you just had, just kind of ready to move on. Bill, I think to your point and to what Ben was expressing there in his tweet is you can't really move on with Gamecock basketball until there's some sort of resolution moving forward, just where Frank Martin is with his contract situation, 2 years left now. And knowing what that is in college athletics, when you try to recruit guys in for 4 years, you can't really operate like that, or it typically doesn't work like that. And then all the expectation going into this season, the consistent winning in the SEC for the last few years, the lack of postseason berths after the Final Four from 4 years ago. It's all kind of in a jumbled mess, in my opinion, at least in my head and how I see it. And last night, right before halftime, Bill, or right when you decided to cash it in, maybe that was another great example, right? Horn sounds, then Trey Hannibal chucks it up from just outside of midcourt and nails it, and it doesn't count.
Yeah.
And another example of how this season just went wrong for Gamecock basketball was on display last night in multiple ways. And 6-15, the final score. We're not going to dwell on that the entire show for sure. We do have plenty of good things to talk about when it comes to Gamecock baseball. And today specifically in Austin, Texas, made the trip yesterday. Some pictures up of their workout on the field out there in Austin. And for the first time since that national championship game back in 2002, Carolina and Texas baseball will get after each other tonight. I'll have it for you right here on 107.5 The Game. And they ended up moving yesterday's game, by the way, or tomorrow's game. Tense, and the actual sequence of events is very difficult for me at 6:13, apparently. Tomorrow's game was set to be another primetime game like tonight's, but that's now been moved way up to a 3:30 start our time. So we'll have that for you starting at 3:15 tomorrow. Tonight's game's a 7:30 start out in Austin, our time, and 7:15 airtime here on 107.5 The Game. So Gamecock baseball and Texas, a big-time series before Carolina starts SEC play next week, Vandy, and then Florida to start. It's going to be a heck of a 3-week stretch for Gamecock baseball. I know you've touched on that before, Bill, and mentioned if you can go 5-4, stay above 500 in these next 3 series, Win 2 out of 3 in each would be tremendous, but just go above 500 in these next 9 games with Texas, Vandy, and Florida, then you set yourself up for success the rest of the way.
Well, I mean, if you do that, you feel like you've got a chance to run all the way to the College World Series. If you're 5-4 in these 9 games, there's some midweek games, remember, in there as well. But if you look at the next 3 series and you come out of that 5-4, now I think maybe the caveat to that is if you sweep one. So if you swept Texas, but then you lost the next 2 series, and you went, 1-2, maybe you don't feel quite as good, but you win 2 out of the next 3 series, you're sitting at 5-4 after these 9 games. I got to think you're loving life as a South Carolina fan, looking at the SEC schedule, looking at how this team has performed. What is it? There'll be roughly 2 other midweek games, so you're talking about 11 games between now and when we come out of this stretch. South Carolina would be at what? That'd be 22 games total on the season. You've got to feel really good. You'd have to feel really good where you're at. So we'll see how they play tonight. Hey, it's fun. I'm with you. I remember sitting at Presbyterian basketball camp back in 2003, 2002, Presbyterian basketball camp, and going into a little room to watch South Carolina and Texas in the College World Series in that 1-game playoff that they used to have for the national championship. First time in my life I'd watched South Carolina compete for a national championship way back in I think, again, 2002 is what it was, and how neat that was. Aaron Rawl, who was a good friend of mine from Lexington, getting the start that day. So neat to see, and neat to see these 2 big names hook up on the diamond this weekend out in Austin. Hopefully we'll get a return trip on this series here in the next year or 2.
No, it's already set up for Texas to come to Carolina next year. Yeah, that's how they signed this thing up. So the Longhorns will be coming to Founders Park next season is the plan. TJ hits us up on the Facebook live stream. Good morning, guys. Let's go down to Texas and take care of business. Gamecock baseball spurs up 14-0. As we were talking about those numbers there, Bill, kind of the opposite of Gamecock basketball. When you're off to an 11-0 start, you've built up some cachet, some wiggle room there, and it's why you mentioned you just go 5-4 in the next 9 games against those opponents, against Davidson, and another game against the Citadel, also in the mix here in these next 11 games, if you're mixing the midweek games. So that's where Carolina baseball starts. They're starting exactly where you want to start from. Now, what are you gonna do against some top line teams here, and especially when you start in the SEC? What kind of cachet are you going to build up there, or do you start in the hole? The way that the SEC is, man, this year, I think in one poll, it's 1 through 5. They're in front of Carolina. Carolina ranked as high as number 5 in the country. There's another poll, I think they're number 12, and then they have series still left with 1 through 5 in the country. So there's going to be a tremendous challenge ahead of Mark Kingston and company, to say the least. Chris says, am I missing something about Texas? They're 8-5 this season so far. Not saying they're not a good team, but they're not Vandy or Florida. Well, Vandy and Florida are like what? They're in the top 5, right? Texas, I think, started in the top 15, and those first 3 losses were all to SEC teams that I think are still ranked in the top 5 or somewhere close. Patrick, do you have it in front of you? You look like you're zoned in there. We'll look it up specifically, but you might be missing just college baseball, and the beginning of the season playing good opponents doesn't hurt you. When we looked up the RPI the other day, and was it Ball State that was number 1 with a 6-4 record in RPI? Is that what it was? And our buddy Mac gave me some more info on that. He said, yeah, I got to do a deep dive on this thing. And he went in, and I guess the way that happened is that the teams that Ball State had lost to were something ridiculous, like 22-0 when they weren't playing Ball State. So that's how that number got so ridiculously jacked up. Mississippi State, Arkansas, and Ole Miss. The first 3 opponents for Texas, all 3 of those losses. Then they bounce back and take 3 out of 4 against BYU. And the only other loss they've had was an 11-inning loss at a pretty good Houston program, I believe, to start that series. And they've rolled the rest of the way through their early season slate So it's a big one for Texas as well. You could bet that they feel like this is going to turn around their season. They win this series at home and they can get going. And Carolina on the opposite end of that spectrum, they're looking to continue to roll and keep that perfect record intact. Jonathan says, Bill, why were you at PC basketball camp in 2002? Jonathan, clearly you don't listen to the show. Bill, a budding prospect at that point in 02.
No, it was coaching team camp, coaching Lexington High School, coaching like the 7th or 8th grade team, whatever it was.
So you had just missed out on your college basketball opportunities at that point.
I was in college. We'd go back and coach. I'd coach for Bailey, go back during the summer, and that was a lot of fun. Go out there and do that. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's a PC team camp back then. We'd go to I'd get to go and coach. That was my foray into coaching. You'd coach 3 games a day. It was neat. They still, I think, do something like that. Greg Nyberg down there used to put on an incredible team camp out there, and grew up going to it. And then post high school, got to go coach at it a ton. Coach Lexington High School's teams.
York on the Cool Care Heating and Air text line at 803-404-6100. Pulled for Frank and my Gamecocks till the very end. Rest up, Frank. And Papa Joe just hit us up. Morning, guys. I personally would like to see Frank come back. Just been a rough season for all. Do y'all think it's more the scheme this year, lack of talent, or poor defense, or just a combination of everything? We'll try to figure it out when we come back. I don't think anybody's got a simple answer. I'm really interested in hearing Frank Martin's opinions about this, that he's kind of kept to himself until after the season. Says he needs a couple of days to disconnect from the year and kind of evaluate the whole thing, and then we'll get his opinions. You know, he's not shy in sharing them. So a couple of days from now, or whenever we hear from him next publicly, should be really interesting listening for sure. We'll let you listen to a few of his post-game comments. We'll play the best of those from last night as we continue to roll on as well. 6-15, the final record for the Gamecocks after last night's 17-point loss at the SEC tournament to Ole Miss. You're listening to the early game. I'm live on location, the Windermere Club, as the sun starts to come up behind me over the water. Oh, you can see it a little bit on the live stream there that's up and rolling. YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and Twitter at the station handle at 1075 The Game. It's the early game on 1075 The Game on the radio. You got the lake back there, right? Got a little reflection of. Yeah. Just trying to battle your Lake Murray view, sir.
Oh, exciting. The weekend is upon us. Maybe you've got big plans. Maybe one of your plans is doing a little bit of house hunting. If you want to get out, search around, now's a great time. There's a golden opportunity in the home market, whether you're looking to refinance your existing mortgage or whether you're looking to get out and purchase a new one. The mortgage guru, Jacob Crowder with First Palmetto Bank, is available to you. Give him a phone call this morning, 803-719-1005. You can email him, the letter J, Crowder, CROWDER at firstpalmetto.com. That's how you can get in touch with him. Jacob's helping people save $300, $400, $500 each and every day right now, and you can be one of those people. Interest rates are low. Now's the time to make the move. Don't wait around. Get in touch with a guru, a mortgage guru, Jacob Crowder with First Palmetto Bank, 803-719-1005. Again, his email, the letter J, Crowder, CROWDER at firstpalmetto.com. See what he can do for you and your family. If you're thinking about buying a home, if you're thinking about refinancing, now is the time. Get in touch with the mortgage guru, Jacob Crowder with First Palmetto Bank.
Oh, he's making it.
Yeah.
So did your boys find a fourth? Do you know?
I don't know if they did or didn't.
I'm sure Craig will tell us when he hops
There did not seem to be a lot of concern for my health once I said I was out.
You're like, what? We got to pick up another one?
Yeah.
Like one time I had a buddy, we went down to the beach for right after, I think this was right after high school graduation. And one of our buddies, he's a social butterfly, and we didn't know where he was. We didn't have cell phones back in the day. He just didn't come back a night or two. And I had a buddy's like, oh, we better find that dude. He owes me money.
It just disappeared for a second. Comes back married.
No, he did have an experience with some ladies, I believe, but it was enjoyable, so it was good.
No problems out there this morning? Everything good?
Everything's great. Fred's got us all hooked up.
Looks good. I see the sun coming up behind you.
Yeah, man. You can't be the only one that gets the waterfront views. We got to get Patrick near some water right now.
He's got a big TV in his bedroom. He can go home and turn on a movie about a lake, lay in bed, look at it.
No, I'm really tired. I woke up at 11 or 11:30 yesterday because Maryland was playing at 11:30, and I just never went back to sleep. So I've only slept for like 2 hours in the last two days.
And you have to work tonight too, or no?
Yeah.
Oh, brutal. You're gonna crash right after this, though, right?
Yeah. I should have gone to sleep after the game, but I just wasn't that tired for whatever reason.
Good morning to Josh, and John's already hit us up on Twitter this morning. He was up at 3 this morning. He's so pumped about coming out, and he's also a Texas and Gamecock fan. John, I've been practicing my heckling my entire life, sir. I've been preparing for this moment since I was born. Good morning, Carlton. He's talking about SC State. And the boys getting all hooked up before headed to Orangeburg this morning. You were watching the Capitals, Patrick? I'm guessing not.
Yesterday, a little bit. Obi's back in the scoring column. Anytime we can beat the Flyers is nice.
Is that a rivalry?
Yeah, it's a division. I mean, the Caps' number one rival, right, has been the Penguins for the last 20 years.
Has been the who? The Penguin?
The Penguins.
Well, that didn't work out great.
We're better now. I mean, they were always a roadblock in the playoffs, but we've got the upper hand at the moment.
Got a little Frank coming back. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, the players' health thing.
Lighting's nice and warm in here, huh? I'm trying to figure out how to be less orange. But I think it's just the warm lights they have here in the grill room, combined with the beautiful sunrise back there.
There you go.
Let's see if I can flashlight how to change it. So a bit of a lighting there. Morning.
Looking where they set you up, huh?
Yes, sir. Put me in the corner.
If I keep distance, can I take this down?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
I'm Kelly.
Kelly, good to see you, sir.
I just wanted to stop over and say hello. I mean,
Appreciate it.
man, it's not often you guys are on this side of town. So
Right.
It's I wanted to play today. I had 4 guys, me and 3 others that were going to play.
Right. Just felt it.
That's gonna work.
This is Fred. Fred runs the place. This is Kelly.
How are you?
Kelly's a listener. Just wanted to stop by.
Nice to meet you.
We're coming back, Bill.
2 years ago, but it's I'm a member over at Cobblestone, so but I just here every day, so when you guys are here, it's awesome.
Right. Nice. I appreciate it.
How'd they get you here all alone? Where's everyone else?
Well, Bill is a wuss. And Patrick is actually running the show.
What's going on with what's her name?
Yes, Mark.
She'll be back on Monday.
Oh,
She had her son test positive, so one of those deals. Hop right on.
I know you want
You guys want?
Frank Martin, after last night's 17-point loss to Ole Miss, Bill, what do you make of that? It was, again, to me, this is kind of representative of the season. We saw Trey Hannibal was out one game because he had the day off. And then last night we see coach's decision that Keyshawn Bryant and Jermaine Couisnard aren't playing, Seventh Woods out with injury, and that's the explanation we get after the game from Frank Martin. A physical and mental health deal. It just seems – I know this season has been unique for sure. That is a unique explanation as well.
You know what? I don't know what's going on, but this to me is Frank Martin not throwing his players under the bus. We don't know what happened. I mean, I don't. Did they make the trip to Nashville? Did they?
They were not in the building, they said on the broadcast last night.
Yeah. The way it was worded was the way I got it was almost like they were back in the hotel, like they went up there and something happened, and so I only say that because I think that Frank is tried to handle the season. There's no playbook for how to handle mentally the season. This is notwithstanding what happened on the court. I'm talking about the off the court stuff. And I think Frank has tried to handle it as well as he could. And there's no playbook for how to do that. And that goes for Mike Krzyzewski, too, dealing with Jalen Johnson kind of stuff, with John Calipari. You know, what is it? He had to dismiss a player. Who was it, Patrick, that he asked to leave earlier this season?
Yeah, I can't remember the name. I'll look up the kid's name.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I there's no playbook on that for the coaches. And Frank's not the only one who's had to deal with it. So I'm not throwing a pity party for him here and saying, oh, everybody needs to back down. What I am saying is that, like, in terms of players, if you look across the board, he's not the only one that's dealt with that. And I think you've seen a lot of coaches kind of go out of their way to not throw guys under the bus and back them down. Now, Jim Boeheim's another story, right? Jim Boeheim went after Jalen Johnson for Duke and basically was like, oh, dude's a quitter. Like, he's a flat quitter, and it's healthy.
Yeah, they're better off without.
Yeah, I mean, you know, not even his guy, but so.
Well, he is very close with Coach K, and a lot of people have speculated that he might be saying something that Coach K doesn't feel that he is able to say.
Well,
anonymous text.
Right.
And that's
so I think he might be speaking. He might just be K's mouthpiece
yeah.
in that situation.
Text came in from Mikey. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Brings it up random in the press conference, no real reason to bring it up. But all I'm saying, and this is, again, please understand that it's what I'm discussing is totally different than X's and O's on the court or TJ Moss trying to play point guard or whatever. You know, I just, when I hear that, to me, it's Frank Martin actually defending his players, which, say what you want about Frank's sideline demeanor. The kids do like him. I think they do genuinely like him, and you've seen that in his career. We can agree, disagree, whatever, on exactly how they go about playing for him, and if now in year three, I've started to wonder this: if in year three, the yelling has just gotten to the point where they like him, but they just tune him out, right? I mean, that happens at some point where you've had it, the dog that just barks too much, you just learn to tune it out. And that it's gotten to this point, like, they know that Frank loves them as people, and they know that he's going to yell. And so now the yelling doesn't even get home. I started to wonder about that. Like, when you're a young player, you're like, oh, you're yelling at me. I better, like, do something different. Well, in year three, all these guys, remember we were talking about guys who've now been in the program? They're like, oh, yeah, this is who Frank is. He yells a lot. We'll just continue to do what we do. It's okay. He's going to yell whether we do it right or wrong. It doesn't matter. We're just going to go about doing our business. I just think the comments we just heard, though, are Frank doing the best he can to defend or not throw players under the bus personally.
Patrick, you've been one that I think there's plenty of Gamecock fans out there that are on the other side and has seen Frank Martin not be as fiery on the bench this year. Do you think it could be that as well, that you see a guy who clearly has not –
You had to hear it. Patrick didn't hear it because he wasn't listening. But didn't we all hear Frank get fiery and yell something we've all yelled at the television multiple times last night? Did you hear him?
I heard him a few times, but I don't remember anything specific. What'd you get? Or is it
After AJ Lawson went on a string of missed shots, and one of them included a corner three, and all you could hear was, "Make a shot!"
Well, to me, I wonder if it was also part of Frank not having the energy to be who he typically is at times in this season, and maybe there was a disconnect there. I'm not sure. What do you think, Patrick?
I would understand that too, but I mean the whole lack of energy has been the biggest annoyance for me the entire season, from the players and the coach. Like, they don't seem to be excited. The guys on the bench don't seem to be fired up or cheering them on, which you need to manufacture your own energy this year. And other teams, the best teams in the country, are having no problem doing it because every game matters. And maybe it's just been a snowball effect, and I didn't really notice it at the beginning. And as the season wore on, the games were less and less important, and they kind of knew that they weren't going to be a tournament team. They just kind of mailed it in. But that, combined with what I was mentioning yesterday, Frank's always done this. This isn't a new thing either. When things aren't going well and the other team's on a run and South Carolina's just not doing anything right, he'll just sit on the bench and cross his arms. I mean, that's nothing new, but when the season's going this poorly, things like that are just amplified, and you notice it more and more. And I don't know, that is more understandable this year because obviously we know what he's gone through from a health perspective. So, I mean, I would totally understand everyone being just exhausted as a whole.
Well, it ends with 6-15 and a 17-point loss to Ole Miss last night. And what you're talking about, Patrick, from an energy standpoint, I didn't see that from this team. I thought that everyone that played last night was fully engaged, but we did see a run that Carolina just couldn't recover from, Bill. And that's that one you're talking about right before the half, 14-2. The Gamecocks did get it to single digits in the second half. The lead I'm talking about for Ole Miss. But then it was Ole Miss responding to that run and rolling to that 17-point win. And again, they're playing for a ton. They're firmly on the bubble, and they need to make a bit of a run here in this SEC tournament to get themselves into the NCAA tournament. And they played like a team like that, I thought, last night. And you got to get Kermit Davis a bunch of credit there. Devontae Shuler didn't have his best game for sure, but what Ole Miss was able to do on the interior, I thought, just kind of wore Carolina out, and drew fouls and a relatively typical recipe, I think, to beat this team this year, Bill.
Yeah, I mean, again, there are pieces to this basketball team that I'll disagree with people that it's just a disaster of a program, and that want to just completely say it's in a really, really bad place. I think this was again, this year is an anomaly. If you look at the last 7 or 8 years, this is an anomaly, and that's it is what it is. Now, can it be fixed? There does need to be an infusion of talent. There needs to be some chemistry corrections. There needs to be a leadership council or something. I don't know, but all I'm saying is there are pieces here that I think make a turnaround easier said than done. They're not in. Somebody hit us up. Steven hit us up earlier and said Darren Horn basketball is back. No, there's pieces here that give me hope that this thing can be turned around a little bit quicker, but there needs to be a lot of parts to it. Patrick, I don't know if it matters if you guys care. You look at it last night, you get 29 points. Your two leading scorers are your big guys. McCrary's 15 points last night, 4 of 9 from the field, 3 blocks. He did only have 1 rebound. But Wildens Levesque last night, 14 points, 6 rebounds. Last night, 24 minutes of action. I mean, I thought you saw some decent stuff from the post players. You got nothing out of the point guard spot, and the step back by Jermaine Couisnard. Now, I know he didn't play last night.
I get out there.
We've talked about him. Justin Minaya last night.
That'd be awesome, man.
Tim, do you have the stat line in front of you? Like, do you either? If I asked you guys Manaya's stat line from last night, do you have it in front of you where you can't cheat or?
I do not have. I have it in front of me, but I don't think he scored last night. I was noticing that as well. Do you know it, and you're just playing this game?
I'm looking at it right now, just
okay,
because
so
again.
I'm thinking he had 4 rebounds and no points off of 2 shots.
Have 30 minutes played, third most on the team last night. He hit a free throw, 1 point, and 5 rebounds last night, and then 3 turnovers.
5 shots, 2 assists.
5 shots.
1 foul. Wow. Yeah.
I mean, we talk about Jermaine Couisnard taking a step back, and he did. And again, I know Couisnard didn't play last night, so he's not in the equation at the moment. But Justin Minaya took a huge step back as well, and that stat line last night just, that's another one, man. You're getting nothing from him, absolutely nothing. AJ Lawson last night, 3 of 12 as well. You got nothing from your guards last night, absolutely zero. And TJ Moss is trying hard. If they speed TJ Moss up, he's a turnover machine. He's an absolute – he had 2 last night. But when he throws it to the other team, he doesn't just throw it to the other team. He hands it to him for basically a breakaway dunk. I mean, some of his turnovers are really bad.
Steven talking about the SEC point guard and not quite there, the caliber for the Gamecocks. Travis says, I've just never seen anything like this, but to lose 9 of the last 10 by an average of 17 points is mind-blowing. We hear you. 803-404-6100 is the number if you would like to weigh in on the Love Chevy phone lines or the Cool Care Heating and Air text line. I'm live on location, trying to play with the lighting here on the live stream. I mean, notice I got my phone here, and so I got the flashlight up. If I put it down, I look very menacing, dark in the corner with the sun coming up behind me. We'll try to figure it out. It's a work in progress.
Yeah, go look at Tim on the live stream, and please subscribe. We're 5 away from 600. Can we just get 5 subscribers by the end of this hour?
Please make Patrick. Yes, I'll get on Twitter.
And then we can start working towards 1,000 again, because we've really plateaued. We've really plateaued hard.
Well, Patrick, if this makes you feel better, I'm looking at a Washington Nationals pullover in front of me. Our buddy Kelly, who I've never met in person before, been a constant contributor in on the program, stopping by here at Windermere Club just because we're on his side of town. He's on his way to work. I'm going to try to convince him to call in sick. Maybe give him a note or something so he can get out here and play. And he's disappointed, Bill, that you're not gonna be out here playing and showing everybody how it's done.
We're all disappointed. We'll have to just have another golf tournament. We'll have to find a way to have another golf tournament.
Trying to fight through the disappointment as we discuss Gamecock basketball. We'll get into some sunnier conversations.
Four away. If we're 4 away, if you're the lucky.
All right.
Who gets to be lucky number 600 this morning?
You'll win bragging rights being lucky number 600
That's
YouTube
right.
subscriber. You're listening to the early game here on 107.5 The Game.
Sleep number.
Yeah, if you're not aware, I've been under the weather lately, been dealing with all kinds of, with a couple different things here. And getting sleep when you're sick is vital, absolutely vital to recovering. Thank goodness I've got a sleep number bed, put the sleep number setting on 60. It's helped tremendously as I try to recover. And you need it as well, not just for in case you get sick, but for daily life. Spring is around the corner. You're going to start having longer days. You need to get a great night of sleep. And with a sleep number bed, that is exactly what you can get. Trust me, I have had a sleep number bed for almost 3 years now. It's crazy. It was about this time 3 years ago that Sleep Number and I partnered together. It's been one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. I get a fantastic night of sleep each and every night. Do the same. Introducing right now the Sleep Number 360 smart bed, designed to make a life-changing difference to your health and wellness. Don't miss the weekend special. Save $500 on select Sleep Number 360 smart beds, plus special financing and free premium delivery when you add a base, subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See sleepnumber.com for details. But this ends Monday, so you need to get to a Sleep Number store to check out what I'm talking about. 2 to choose from. One in Irma on Harbison Boulevard across from Buffalo Wild Wings. The other in Columbia, Two Notch Road across from Sand Hills Mall. You can also visit them on the web, sleepnumber.com. Right now, again, save $500 on select Sleep Number 360 smart beds, plus special financing and free premium delivery when you add a base. But it ends Monday. I'm telling you, the best decision I made was switching to Sleep Number. I get a fantastic night of sleep. You can do the same. Make the switch to Sleep Number today and find out what a great night of sleep is truly like.
I should just get out of the way completely and let you see the sunrise. it is. There it is. You.
It's a beaut, Clark. It's a beaut. Except for that guy over there in the shadows. It's creepy.
Yeah, that's creepy. John, don't get to be on Bill's team this time. You're right. You don't get a private lesson of how it's done. That's good stuff, Travis. No doubt.
If we want to make people more mad, I can talk about Clemson's Pro Day yesterday and how much I really like all of the players in Clemson's draft class.
Well, we got that, and I do want to get your take on David Culley's Deshaun Watson take last night. I've been wanting that what they're saying about him at quarterback.
And Bill, did you see the Michigan State mess?
Yeah, Michigan. What is it? The Michigan State Spartans, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, good call, Cullen. I like it. First 50 to subscribe. Get the shirts printed up. Print up 100 of them. Yeah, it's not worth the flashlight in the eyes, I don't think.
I think that's gonna be too many characters.
That is a positive. Clemson players are all moving on, so.
I don't think Carolina fans need more to be ticked off about today, Patrick. I don't think you have to do that to them.
That I have to compliment Clemson players that are no longer at Clemson.
Right.
That's what KT's saying. It's a positive now. It's a good thing to compliment them because now we don't have to worry about them.
He's a glass half full guy. Attaboy Cullen's going to make it happen.
Travis Etienne can't hurt you anymore. Don't worry.
Wow, 612.
Oh, very nice.
Let's go.
612.
That was a quick jump.
That was a massively quick jump.
I'm going to say it's a sunrise thing.
Should we set our sights on 700 today?
For sure.
Well, I'm not in on the last hour, am I? Because you got basically a slew of guests rolling through.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, I'll text you later, but next Thursday I was going to be out. I'll do 6 and 7. I don't have to leave till 8 o'clock to take my dad to his little appointment.
Okay.
If that's all right with you.
Yeah.
I'll just be out the 8 o'clock hour.
Got it.
That's next Thursday. He apparently doesn't have to be there. It's not one of those things where he's got to be there super early, so I can leave here at 8 and get him down to the hospital.
Gotcha. All right, so we'll actually have a few minutes here, Patrick. That sound right? Oh, Patrick's gone. I hear you, John. I do feel a little bit like Darth Vader over here with the lighting. And that's even with the flashlight. Take the flashlight out. I'm definitely in the witness protection program over here. Get the voice modulation going. So we'll touch on those other topics. You said Deshaun Watson, right, Bill? Michigan State thing, unbelievable. Patrick, you do another Frank here? Patrick, can you do another Frank here? Thank you. Papa Joe hitting us back up on the Cool Care Heating and Air text line. I think it's appropriate right after that Frank Martin comment from last night after the 17-point loss to Ole Miss ended the season for the Gamecocks, 6-15, the final record. How far away we are from that now is sad, is how Papa Joe ended his comment, talking about remembering the happiest time he's ever seen Frank Martin on TV before the Final Four, which was on Good Morning America, talking about the team, had a smile on his face that was as big as a mile. How far away are we from that right now? And no doubt, man, that's where Gamecock basketball is as we sit here this morning. A 14-2 run at the end of the first half, and the late night tip last night that actually wasn't too late, 9:35-ish, I think, or right at 9:30, about as good as you could ask for in that late game at the SEC tournament. But this season just went the wrong way. And like you said, Bill, earlier, I get it, Patrick. You can be bitter about how Frank puts that. I think that's Frank being Frank and his way of standing up for his players and his program. And he just doesn't want to hear, especially people who aren't close to the program, just throwing out words that his players will probably take personally, like disappointment. But clearly, if you're a fan, obviously you're disappointed in a 6-15 season, right? He can kind of interpret that however he wants to, or be insulted by it, or the whole thing. But he's used the word frustrating, I think, more. To me, it's all the same thing, right? From a Gamecock perspective, that was about as bad as it could have gone this year. Wouldn't you say, Bill?
Yeah. Without, I mean, there's, I mean, I hate to say it. I don't know what else could have gone wrong. I mean, it's honestly, you could have wrapped up last night at halftime. At halftime, they could have just played the scene of Chevy Chase after he just gets, what is it, the Christmas Vacation, where he says, we're at the doorstep of, you know where. I mean, at halftime last night, that was like they'd reached it. They were there. Like, how could it get any worse?
Well, I know one way, Bill. They could be the South Carolina Gamecocks presented by someone, and you have to refer to them, or they only refer to themselves that way, like Michigan State. Patrick, I know you're all over this thing, but this is one of those tweets that I had to read multiple times. I had to go back and look at the account to make sure it wasn't a fake or a fraud or a joke. The news coming out last night that Michigan State, the Michigan State Spartans, will be referred to inside their arena as the Michigan State Spartans presented by Rocket Mortgage. That's going to be the way. What is going on? Jay Billis with a great response tweet there. And Billis has long been kind of an advocate of athletes and getting more of a piece of the pie and the whole thing. And he'll be only referred to as, are you kidding me? A little bit more colorful language, Jay Billis, presented by Are You Kidding Me? What is going on there, Patrick?
I don't know. I just want it to be clear that I am for sale. I will call myself Patrick, presented by anything. Literally anything.
Great call. I mean, he's pumped.
It's not going to cost much either. It's going to be a lot cheaper than Michigan State.
Oh, we know how you live and die with the YouTube subscriber numbers. We're up to past 610 now. Thank you guys on hooking us up there. Cullen says, do it 700. He's all about making his problems seem pretty chill when he listens to 107.5 The Game, and he's encouraging John to continue to call me Darth Vader as you look on the live video stream, and I'm hanging out at the Windermere Club with the sun rising behind me, and that has made my actual face look like I'm in the witness relocation program. We got to talk about the new Texans coach just standing firm on Deshaun Watson. Plenty of Gamecock stuff, too, in hour number 2. All right. You just dropping out there, Patrick, in the live stream? Or
The internet's just been brutal. Yeah, the internet's terrible right now.
How's the internet better at the Windermere Club than it is in our studios?
I don't know. Normally it drops out at least once a show, but it's
right
been in
at
and out.
All right, Patrick, you get to get into it with the live streamers here. I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick. You got it?
Yeah.
See how much you can sell yourself for, your sponsorship.
I don't know. All right. Pro Day. Clemson Pro Day yesterday. First off, Cornell Powell. Did anybody see the picture of Cornell Powell? Looked absolutely shredded, like a superhero. It was ridiculous. And I love this kid. Special teams ace. Waited 4 years to play. High character guy. I really hate to say it, but Clemson, high character guys all over the place on this team. Amari Rogers, love him. Coach's son, T. Martin's son. Didn't run very fast, but was willing to take running back snaps as a wide receiver. Love that. Willing to do literally anything. Jackson Carman is a freak show. Did I see Patrick Ewing's post-game interview? Yeah, that was a little ridiculous. I don't know how you can't recognize Patrick Ewing. MSU security just doesn't know what's going on. They didn't recognize Charles Oakley either, and if there's anybody that recognizes, it's Patrick Ewing. Big win for Georgetown yesterday. That's why I'm wearing my Georgetown shirt today. Beating a little bit of a battered Villanova team. I actually don't know who Georgetown plays today. Let me check that. Seton Hall for the Big Ten championship. I think Big Ten championship. Yeah, that'd be something. Tim Bill, quick comeback. No more draft talk. Yeah, sorry, I was fired up by Clemson's Pro Day yesterday. I really was. It's a good group of guys they got there. "48 days till the draft." Bill just doesn't participate in breaks anymore.
Oh, did I get put back in?
You've been in.
Oh, well, no. When I walked up, I just walked back upstairs from it. I'm trying to walk around because I feel like I've got a ton of indigestion in my chest, and I'm trying to get it out. And when I walked back over, Tim said, "All right, Patrick, it's yours." And you were starting on Cornell.
Well, that's because you always leave.
Huh?
That's because you always leave.
Well, I've had to leave the last week because in between breaks, I'm either on the verge of not making it or I need to get up and walk around. I don't feel good. Still don't feel particularly great. What was he talking about, Jason? What did Patrick serenade y'all with?
Clemson Pro Day stuff.
I'm right here. I'm just walking over to close the blind. Let's see here. Sun is coming up. Beautiful. Tried to do some fishing yesterday. Did not catch anything.
And we got to talk about the Chiefs cutting both their tackles.
Yeah. Yeah, cut Eric Fisher.
And Mitchell Schwartz.
That was kind of crazy. We jumped all the way up to 614, like in the blink of an eye, just mentioning the YouTube channel, and then it just stops.
Yeah, I mean, we just need to mention it all the time, I guess.
Yeah. Just one show of just talking about it.
We should start threatening people like we're not going to talk sports until we hit this number. And just keep mentioning the YouTube.
Yeah, or we're only going to talk Gamecock basketball. Let's see if the PGA. I don't know if I'm gonna watch PGA channels at no, they're the Guitar Masters. You heard about the channel on Twitter from a Gamecock friend. All right. Good job. We're branching out.
Ranking the top returning college football players by position for 2021 is who's the South Carolina's best returning player? Kevin Harris? You think they have with PFF? Who's the most likely South Carolina player for PFF to have in the top 10 at their position?
Top 10 at their position.
No running backs.
I'd say Ngbare.
Ooh, that's a good one. I bet you he's on there.
Ngbare. Yep, it seems like a guy that would be up there.
Nope.
Really?
Make it. I guess no South Carolina guys are going to make it. Certainly not a defensive back. Certainly not a wide receiver. Do you know who their number one returning running back is?
And the number one returning running back?
In college football, yeah.
Who?
Supposed to guess.
Well, I don't even know who's returning right now. I don't even know who's returning. I couldn't even think of.
I think Breece Hall was the one that won all the awards last year, but their PFF's number one returning running back is Tank Bigsby.
All right, gentlemen, I got Fred from Windermere here with me as well. I'm going to have him on this segment.
Hey, guys.
Yes.
You hear him there? Yep, you're good?
Yep, I hear him there.
Headphones good?
Thanks, so. That's
All right.
Thanks, sir.
I'll look up DC. I'll look up Brittany. I don't know about. We'll talk about Boynton here. I don't know how realistic it is. It's interesting. I like Mike. I used to hang around Mike a lot. We'll talk about Boynton off air in the next segment. Don't go anywhere.
17-point loss wraps up a brutal stretch of Gamecock basketball and a tough season for sure. 6-15, the final record late last night at the SEC tournament. We'll certainly continue to discuss that as we roll on. I'm live on location, as you might be able to see. Fortunately, you can see behind me better on the live video stream right now as the sun continues to rise over the lake at the Windermere Club. We're live on location. We got the golf tournament going a little later today. Bill, you are opting out of this one, right? Is that what we're going to call it? Opting out?
I feel like it was a combination of my decision and you kind of have heard me cough for 2 days and kind of watched me and was like, I got a little one. I got two other ones. Why don't you just stay home and not come sit too close to me? There's other golf tournaments. I feel like it's a combination of my decision and you looking at me on the live stream for 2 days, being like, you know what? It's better if we just stay socially distanced just a little bit longer with given your family situation.
No, not just the family situation. I'm trying to look out for everybody out here.
Yeah, you kind of
as well.
I was gonna say I feel like while I feel like you stepped in. My father was very happy when I told him this. I was like, yeah, I think Tim feels it. He's like I'm glad the responsible one on the show stepped in and made the decision.
Yeah, Patrick really made the decision. He told me what to do. He's holding things down, producing things in the Herndon Chevrolet studios right now. And joining me here, the guy who runs the Windermere Club is Fred Lehman. He's sitting right beside me. Sorry, we can't get him on the live stream. I need 2 cameras here, Fred, to get you over there. But even talking to Fred this morning, he's like, yeah, Bill's not going to make it. I was like, yeah. He's like, I told him it'd probably be best. He's like, yeah, I saw him. He saw you on. He understands exactly what.
Last Friday, last Friday I was knocking on the door that was not coming home.
Yeah, we're not here because we had an open bar for you. We pulled in a couple of our brand new Easy-Go demos for you and Tim to try out today. But so you're gonna have to come once you get well. We're gonna have to get you out here.
We can do that. I definitely would enjoy it more as a healthy person than where I currently reside.
Absolutely. Looking forward to getting going here at 10 a.m. We're teeing off on at the golf tournament. We're going to continue to talk about Gamecock basketball, baseball ahead of Texas series as well. But wanted to talk a little bit with Fred here about Windermere first. And it's been a little bit since we've been out here, and what all has changed since then. I know you guys have done a bunch.
Yeah. Thanks, Tim. That's a great question. As most of our listeners know, and we've been telling the community we got new champions G12 greens, and it's an exciting time for us, because most golf courses got the code bump, and we call it the G12 bump. And G12 greens are, it's a Bermuda strain green that it has the playability, roll, and grass, that grass, but it doesn't have the aversion to the hot temperatures. So we're just finding it to be fantastic, and and it's playable year round. So I call it kind of a hybrid putting surface, but my superintendent would probably laugh at me for that. He's the expert, but I love it.
Nice. And will it help my putts actually go in, or will it limit my 7 putts? Will it help with that?
Well, they're pretty fast this time, so you're gonna have to watch that. But you're gonna have to worry about your tee shot because you're on 17. You're hitting over the water.
Yeah, we're trying to raise some money for Camp Cole out here today as well. So on number 17 during the golf tournament, which, by the way, if you're looking at the weather today and you're getting ready for work and you're saying, hey, this is not going to be fun at all, I want to do something fun. Well, I think we can probably still make room for you out here. Just come on out to the Windermere Club, 10 o'clock. You can sign up as an individual. You can sign up as a foursome, the whole deal. And I mentioned Camp Cole. They're going to be out at 17 with me here today. We're going to do a closest to the pin contest. It's going to be fun. We'll probably not win at all, but fortunately Camp Cole will win, and we'll raise some money for a good cause. Right?
Yeah, we have 3 closest to the pin. So you're playing on one, then we have 2 on each, 1 on each side. So it'll be fun. We got prizes for everybody.
Absolutely, all kinds of. We got a long drive prize. We'll have maybe we'll certainly have a winner prize. Typically, we have a not so much as a winner prize that maybe one or a couple of our listeners who have been weighing in this morning have actually hit before. Fred, one of the unique things about being out here, I'll try to get the live video stream upstairs here in a little bit and try to show it off, but it's not just golf out here at the Windermere Club. You guys got all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. We're really a family-focused sports club. I mean, everybody knows we have a great signature golf course, state-of-the-art fitness center, indoor-outdoor tennis complex, Olympic pool, aquatic center, fantastic dining, and a view that's, second to none here in Columbia with sunsets over Lake Windermere. But the culture of the Windermere Club is centered around creating amazing lifestyle experiences and making sure people feel like they're part of something special. So that's what we're trying to bring to this place.
And doing it at a rate that you can't beat anywhere else out there. That's always helpful. Maybe it's just the way that my brain works.
We really feel like we have the best deal in the country. Not only the best deal in town, but the best deal in the country. In fact, if you can find a better deal anywhere in the country, we'll either match it or move you there. Because what we're offering, is the March Madness Tim Hill special for March. It's called the Healthy Golfer because Tim is healthy, conscious, and family friendly.
Black coffee this morning, Fred. Black coffee.
Good job. Yeah.
It's $59.99 a month.
That gets you 3 rounds of golf per month. Doesn't include the cart, but the 3 rounds of golf per month. Full privilege fitness. That's all access to the fitness center. Full privilege pool all summer long. Full privilege dining year round, and access to our newly resurfaced outdoor hard courts. So it's a great deal. You can add your spouse for $20 more a month, add a child for $5 more a month. So we feel like, hey, we're going to do this for the month of March. We're going to try to get some more folks in here to check it out. And if you want the deal, just call 786-PUTT, and we'll steer you that right direction.
Pretty simple. 786-PUTT. Again, the number out here at the Windermere Club. We're going to be out here basically all day. Teeing off at 10 o'clock. We couldn't ask for a better day of golf, could we?
Well, a lot better than last time you were here.
No doubt. It was rainy. It was a little chilly, and we made it through that day. I think I feel like the golf gods are smiling on us and balancing things out for sure.
Yep.
Well, Fred Lehman from the Windermere Club, appreciate your time. As always, appreciate you hosting today, and I'm really looking forward to a great day.
Tim, thanks for coming out. We appreciate you thinking of us when you do your tournament, and we're going to have a fabulous time. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's the 107.5 The Game Spring Golf Tournament sponsored by Integrated Media. Those guys are going to be out here as well as Camp Cole. It's going to be a fun time for sure. And Bill, I know you're into the Players Championship. It was this time last year where you're trying to get down to the Players Championship and actually see it for yourself. And we're a year removed from COVID and the whole thing. And now we're finally getting back out and getting some golf here at the Windermere Club as well. Except for
Yeah. It's the last 2 years. What a change! It has been a year. It has been a year. A year ago today, I was on this Friday. I think it was the 13th. But a year ago today, I ended up in Savannah and did the show with y'all. We were Lauren and I were supposed to be heading to Jacksonville for the Players Championship, and obviously they called it off. Everything ended up being called off. This is the weekend a year ago that everything kind of fell apart sports-wise for us, and so it was fun. I sat outside yesterday, watched a ton of the Players Championship and everything that was going on. We got a couple questions. Matt Neesmith not with a good day yesterday, shot an 81. Roy McIlroy shoots a 79 yesterday. He is really struggling. But you did have some really good performances. Sergio Garcia yesterday, fantastic with a 65. He's in the lead. Brian Harmon, Shane Lowry, Matt Fitzpatrick, Corey Connors, Bryson DeChambeau. We talked about him and my kind of new affinity for him. 3 under yesterday. So he's kind of in there. Lee Westwood continues to play well. Everybody's favorite golfer, Patrick Reed, is kind of hanging around 2 under along with Jordan Spieth. So great day for golf, whether you're out at Windermere or you're at Sawgrass. It's going to be a fantastic. I was just looking. Looks like you boys are going to hit about the high 70s there. So it should be a great day for golf.
You're not the only one that can't participate. Mark says, I'm about to drive by Windermere. Enjoy while I work. Mark, it's just poor planning, man. Feel free to, maybe you pull a Friday, I'm not feeling well kind of thing. We'll give you a note if you need to have one of those. We can do that as well. 803-404-6100, the number into the program. You can call or text like always. Let's start with what we saw again last night in Gamecock basketball. Bill, I think your original take, and you kind of hit on Ben Briner, the former state newspaper reporter, putting up a text last night just saying what an interesting few days it's going to be for Gamecock basketball. And last night was kind of just an encapsulation of what we've seen for the last 10 games or so. Someone hit us up earlier and said losing 9 of the last 10 and by an average of 17 points, unfathomable. That was Travis on our live stream. And last night was exactly by 17 points. And at times there were some plays to be relatively excited about. Back-to-back alley-oops. Trey Hannibal throwing one down with one hand. The Gamecocks playing with some energy, but they did it without a couple of guys even in the building, in Jermaine Couisnard and Keyshawn Bryant, who Frank Martin had said were basically his leaders here in the last month or so, which it doesn't make a lot of sense. It was a coach's decision on the television broadcast, and then we hear from Frank afterwards saying it was a physical and mental health decision, which I know it's a unique year, and we've never seen anything like this, so maybe I should expect to get an explanation that I've never quite heard, kind of like when Trey Hannibal got day off for one game not too long ago. It has been a confusing, frustrating season for Gamecock basketball. And now it will lead to an uncertain future, I think is the best way to put it, with Frank Martin's contract, which is 2 years left, and having not talked to Ray Tanner. He said the other day, because that's not what he does during the season. We'll see what happens in the next few days, huh?
I think it'll take a little bit longer than the next few days. I don't know if we'll have any kind of decision. I mean, you're going to need Ray Tanner and the administration, or Ray Tanner's going to need to come out and probably say something. You're going to probably get something from Frank Martin. It is completely fair to say that the program is at a crossroads and that they need to either stand up and support Frank Martin and say that, hey, this is the guy that can get the job done here. That this is the guy. He's done it before. He took a really bad situation and he got it fixed. And he brought us to the greatest thing we've ever done in college basketball. He brought that to us. And he has had a run of success that, whether people want to agree or like it, he's had a run of success that is unlike anything South Carolina's had. That doesn't mean you can't expect more. And it doesn't mean that you should not want more. But South Carolina's administration will either need to step up now and say, hey, he's the guy to get it done. We believe in him. We're going to back him. And this is where we're going. Or it's going to be time to say, you know what? We appreciate everything Frank Martin's done. We think he's a terrific coach, but maybe we think it's time to go in another direction. I do think after 9 years, South Carolina basketball is at a crossroads, but they need to either publicly support Frank Martin, or they've got to move on. That's where we're at. And whether that takes, next week or the week after, or whatever it is, I don't think it's a decision that needs to be rushed. There is time to be had on this decision. Don't make it at the spur of the moment. Let Frank come back. He's talked about it. He mentioned it, I think, the beginning of this week or maybe last week. My days are kind of running together, but having meetings and conversations with the people that make those decisions. But that's where this basketball program was. This year was awful. There's no questions asked. This year was awful, and the last 4 years after the Final Four run have not been what people hoped for. But is Frank Martin the guy to get South Carolina to be a consistent NCAA contender, or is it time to go in another direction? That's going to be the question that needs to be asked over the next 3 or 4 weeks. And it's a fair question. It's a fair question.
Absolutely, it's a fair question. And especially knowing the patience. This is the interesting thing, I think, for Gamecock basketball. Everybody knows Frank Martin's a good coach. Everybody knows this year went horribly wrong. How do you marry those two things moving forward? And we always talk about, I always talk about fit when you're talking about people and jobs. And is this the right fit moving forward is what needs to be determined now on both sides. Frank said the other day that he's very much interested in staying here and remaining the head coach of South Carolina and continuing on. You haven't heard anything other than that. Why I mentioned the next few days is I think we're going to start. We'll get the postseason press conference. I think Frank mentioned last night in his postgame press conference he's going to need a couple of days to disconnect and evaluate the entire season, and then he'll give us his opinions on what he thinks should have been done, or where the mistakes he made, and what kind of his entire thought process or his entire evaluation of the season. I'm very interested in hearing that. Because
do both of you guys think it is a foregone conclusion that AJ Lawson is gone?
No, absolutely not. Patrick, you say no as well?
It's not a foregone conclusion because I don't think he'd get drafted, so I don't know that it would benefit him necessarily.
What about you, Bill? Why do you ask?
Well, because I think that's part of it. What is the game plan? And then there's two questions here. What is the game plan to fix the situation? How much do the fans need to know the game plan? The administration does, right? The administration, Frank Martin's got to say, hey, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change this, or this is going to be our roster, or this is where we're going. That I understand. But he's going to have this press conference. And Frank's always been a very honest, open guy about his program. How much in that press conference does he say, hey, there's going to be roster turnover? and we're going to have a different team, and we're going to get back to being the tough, physical, gritty team. That's the one thing you can say about this team that is a disappointment this year, that there's no questions asked. This wasn't a Frank Martin team. Now, for reasons maybe beyond his control, but they weren't a tough, physical, basketball team. This was not a team that scared other teams when they had to come and play. And you always knew, even when Frank Martin's team stunk at the beginning of his tenure, you'd always hear the announcer or you'd hear somebody talk about, man, Frank Martin's teams are going to fight you till the death and to the end of the game. That is not how you would describe this basketball team this year. And he's got some post players coming in. Taquan Woodley's a guy that I like. But again, I'm kind of a 6'7" baller bruiser. You expect to get Alonzo Frink back. Again, I like Minot. I like Levesque. I like McCrary. I think you've got some size down low in terms of girth. You're still lacking a ton of height. You've got Minot and Levesque, but you've got some big, strong, physical kids. Is that the return to the hard-minded, physically dominant basketball team that is South Carolina? That's what they were. That's when they were at their best. Is that the game plan? What is his vision for getting this basketball program back to being top half, top four of the SEC?
803-404-6100 is the number into the program. You can call or text, getting various opinions on the future direction of this thing, especially as it pertains to Frank Martin. KT, as a guy, says he hopes Frank is back. A couple more of you on the Cool Care Heating and Air text line. Patrick, Rich, Charles, they don't see that happening. That's why I say it's going to be a really interesting few days. It might extend longer than that. You're right, Bill, but I think we'll see one way or another. Speaking of seeing, I'm kind of sitting in a darkened corner as it looks with the sun behind me out at the Windermere Club, the grill room. There's activity going on, setting up for today's 10 a.m. golf tournament. If you want to be a late addition, I think you can come by and jump in. You can do it by yourself, sign up as an individual. You can get a couple more players, 3 more players, make it a foursome, and maybe come in and at the last minute and steal this thing, trying to raise some money for Camp Cole as well. Going to be out at one of these holes today, trying to go closest to the pin contest with you. It's going to be a lot of fun, and excited to be out of my garage this morning, mainly. Patrick is continuing to hold things down, producing, filling in for Jen Jensen, I think, who will be back on Monday, by the way. He's in the Herndon Chevrolet Studios in downtown Columbia. Bill, I think you might be actually in the same boat as a couple of those guys that we were talking about with Gamecock basketball that Retrick just hit us up with on the live stream. Says, I got a question, those 3 guys not playing. Well, one sounds like Seventh Woods couldn't go with a groin injury. The other 2 guys, it was a combination of physical and mental health. Frank Martin says with Jermaine Couisnard and Keyshawn Bryant. Bill, as I'm talking about this, is coughing off the air there professionally. Well done, sir, but clearly not ready to roll at the golf course today. I think it was a good call that you're doing the show from your sunroom this morning.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I still got some chest issues here.
What we got to get into as we continue to roll on, we'll continue to talk Gamecock basketball, but a couple other things popping up yesterday. The Michigan State Spartans now sponsored. They're just sponsored. It's crazy. I don't even know how to put this into context at all without getting just completely worked up. Also, the new head coach of the Houston Texans. To me, it was the ultimate insult on the ticker last night. Did you guys notice? They didn't even put David Culley's name. They just say Texans coach.
Yeah.
Comma or colon. Deshaun Watson is our quarterback. Because no one knows his name. They couldn't put Culley. Watson is our quarterback, and be like, what is he talking about? Who is this? I don't even know who they're talking about. We got to get into that as well. Love to hear your thoughts. 803-404-6100. Again, the number. It's the early game here on 107.5 The Game.
Do you want to do zero res now or at the other break?
Trying new things.
Quick.
Discovering the best part is often hidden in the journey along the way. Find yourself in the Mazda CX-30.
I don't want a Mazda CX-30.
Want more power?
Man, I needed to get out today. This is feeling good to be out here at the Windermere Club for today's golf tournament because it has been what this past year has been for me. I'm very fortunate that it also included the birth of my 3rd son. That has come here in the last couple of months with me basically chasing around that 10-month-old, 11-month-old who is trying to walk way too early, and that ends up making some messes around my house. So I've been kind of on the hands and knees around the floors often recently. It's got me reinitiated, certainly a new relationship with my floors and a newfound appreciation for the experts that are helping me keep my floors clean at my house. I'm talking about Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. They've been out to my house a couple of times and done a great job cleaning my carpet, cleaning the area rug for me, also freshening up the tiles in the kitchen and bathroom. And Zero Res, I especially appreciate now their approach to things, the patented powered water system they have, no harsh chemicals involved. When I got the little dude rolling around and trying to eat the floor all the time, that's especially important at my house. Also, no leftover soapy residue. That's kept my carpets cleaner longer. That can happen at your home, can happen at your business. The commercial cleaning division working day and night, following all the CDC guidelines, making sure everything's clean and sanitized there for Zero Res. And right now they have a great deal for you as well. 3 rooms of carpet cleaned, only $119, plus a free hallway when you mention me, Tim Hill. Schedule that Zero Res cleaning today, 803-262-4020, ZeroResColumbia.com. You can book online right now. It's Zero Res. Spell it backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean. Oh, we lost Bill. Patrick's being very professional. I'm in the witness relocation program. I'll give you the view there. Didn't realize it's Lake Windermere. Good to know. That makes sense. Yeah, I gave up on the flashlight, Travis. It's just wasn't good enough for getting the flashlight shown in my eyes. Benefit cost analysis there. These guys just leaving me out to dry this morning. That's doing really nothing. I mean, that's right in my face too. What if I go back here? Yeah, just nothing. And then now we're doing Blair Witch Project setup. This is called backlighting, people. Backlighting with a professional TV light here. My buddy Rich Wandover from old ABC Columbia hooked this one up. Yeah, this, I hear you, KT. It's so weird, right? Well, I don't think anybody's going to do it on TV. That's going to be really interesting too, right? They're saying they're going to do it in their arena, and I'm sure there'll be some sort of at least a patch or something on the jerseys. What do you think, Bill?
I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, we'll have to just see how this kind of lasts and how they go about handling it. I don't know.
I mean, I would have at least waited until this name, image, and likeness thing came out and players were getting paid to kind of slide it under the radar.
Bill, are you signing off for the 8 o'clock hour?
Tim, do I need to, or you load it up, or?
You're welcome to hang out, man. I'm not going to kick you off if you're feeling. I mean, you do sound a lot better and a lot more energy. But if you want to, get back to bed or whatever you need to do.
Yeah, I'll hang around the 8 o'clock hour.
I was gonna say because you still have reads to make up.
Okay, yeah. Let's just do that.
Gonna have a guest on the phone right off the top there in the 8, and then we've got the integrated media guys and the Camp Cole guys do in the 8 o'clock hour as well. Just as a heads
Somebody's
up.
calling it, or I'm calling somebody.
You're calling somebody. I'll hit you up with the number right now. I love just how bitter you are about that, Patrick.
Well, they should have gone to the tournament. I don't even know who we're calling, but they should be there.
The host of this golf show should go to the tournament today.
That's where they should be doing their show.
Well, they only do it on Saturdays.
Oh, it's a golf show guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should be there.
I'm hitting you up with his number right now. Hopefully this is not going out on the live stream, but hey, it happens if it is.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yikes.
great golf guy name. His last name is Greenhall, I believe, and so he just goes by Greeny.
Does he know that's Greenberg's shtick?
No, I'm guessing he's probably bitter at Greenberg for also being greedy. Yeah, Travis, it is beautiful out here. No doubt, it's going to be a great day, man. I forgot until Fred mentioned it about how brutal it was the last time we were out here. Cold and rainy, and he was a trooper for you letting us play that day. Today, Chamber of Commerce even got the old short pants on. Uh-oh, Don's ticked at you, Patrick. He said he tried calling. I agree. Bill sounds better, KT.
Yeah, I'm better. Today's more about just trying to make sure I don't have some kind of relapse or.
Yeah, for sure. Bill, did Don call you or no?
Don called me?
No, the show. Patrick's just ignoring us now.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if he called yet. I don't know what.
I'm trying to move things around because this is a really long next break.
Patrick's working hard.
Yeah, sorry, Patrick.
He's
sorry to bother you. Get back to work.
You work hard. Tim and I'll handle some NFL draft conversation.
We went too long in the first segment, so I have to combine, but the breaks are long.
And this one texter just doesn't understand. Anytime when we've been talking about Gamecock basketball, he's like, why are we talking about this? And this one Patrick at 7:19 sent us, I think it's a foregone conclusion that he's gone, he's ready, and this will be a tough situation to walk back into. Maybe he's talking about AJ Lawson, I guess. Yes. Oh, okay.
Oh, boy.
There we go.
Who are you talking about?
All right, we're coming back.
Dexter. Oh, my gosh. Oh, wow.
Zero.
It's 76-59, the final score last night. Ole Miss over South Carolina at the SEC tournament in Nashville, ending the Gamecock season 6-15. And something we just didn't see coming. It was one of the highest ranked in the preseason SEC poll, I think, in the Frank Martin era. I think the highest ranked going into this year. The expectation was there. They were talking about it. Dave Bradshaw was talking about the talent that was on the roster and coming in and the whole thing last night. And even stretches last night, Carolina, I think, had tied it up at one point, 15-all, maybe taking the lead. And then the stretch towards the end of the half, it was a 14-2 run by Ole Miss. Trey Hannibal hits a beyond half-court shot right after the horn had gone off, right before the first half, which kind of sums things up for how the season ended up going for Frank Martin and company. Now it's a matter of, all right, where's the program going from here? And a bunch of you weighing in on this thing. And it boggles my mind to hear some of these opinions. Steve-O, I'm not ready to give up on Frank. This year was a mess. Quarter hit us up a little bit earlier. If not Frank, who would we target? And that's kind of, I guess, my overall point is that Frank Martin is one of the most respected coaches, I think, in college basketball. He's way up there. The question, though, is he the guy to move the program forward? Because Kelly hits us back up and says, guys, the basketball team appeared to have given up a long time ago, mentally, he's saying. And it's hard to come to any kind of conclusion other than that. But the question is all right, how much accountability does the head coach deserve in this most unique years out there with the COVID issues that they all went through? This other text here that makes my brain hurt, Bill, and might make your head explode is, why don't I hear anything about getting any McDonald's All-Americans? Do we try to get any top players? Patrick, do you know? I know Bill knows. How many McDonald's All-Americans Gamecock basketball has signed in history?
No, probably, I would guess 3.
4 is the answer.
Okay.
It's not for a lack of trying. I guess maybe this texter just looks at the 4 coming in this year for Dawn Staley and says, hey, she can do it. Why can't Frank Martin do it? Again, apples and oranges, I think, that comparison. I get why the comparison is made, but I don't think it's a fair comparison at all. The question is, I guess it becomes what's fair right now to evaluate Frank Martin in the Gamecock basketball program, and that'll be the job of Ray Tanner and company moving forward.
Yeah, and whether they feel that he's the guy, 2 years left on the contract, you've got to make some kind of important decisions here. I'm not saying you have to extend his contract, and recruiting can be fine. That's not necessarily what needs to happen here, but there needs to be a commitment one way or the other and decide what he's going to do. Year 10 next year. Look, there's been some really good times. Again, I think that the thing that I take away, this is the abnormality in the Frank Martin tenure. The first 2 years with what was going on post Darren Horn, that wasn't, I don't put that on Frank. He built a program up. They've had sustained success. Now, it needs to result in some NCAA tournament appearances. Frank would tell you that. He would tell you that. But at the same time, we get into the discussion of like, all right, who's best suited to turn this thing around? Well, I don't know. Like, there's obviously, you can throw a lot of names out there, but I don't know what exactly is realistic. And I don't know if just saying, well, this guy or that guy, we'll go get this guy or that guy. College basketball coaches are weird, man. And the South Carolina job is not viewed like the football job. This isn't a job that people look at and see as a golden, and I say golden opportunity, but people view the football job differently here than they do the basketball job. And it's not one that I think you're necessarily going to be able to just go out and throw money at and fix the situation. And so you've got to ask yourself, who's the guy out there that's realistic that can actually fix the job if it's not Frank Martin? And man, I'll say this, you can do a whole lot worse than Frank Martin. And you run the risk if you think for a second that you can't take this program much further down a bad path. We've seen it happen. I've seen Steve Newton and I've seen Darren Horn, and those kind of things could happen. And I would lean toward that being closer to being something that happens than being able to go and find another up and coming coach. You got to remember, Frank Martin, the reason he ended up here, he was in a huge fight with his athletic director at Kansas State. He didn't just leave Kansas State because he saw this as a better opportunity. He was in such a huge argument with John Curry at Kansas State. He was leaving. So I'm not saying that Frank's the guy. I'm not saying he isn't the guy. I'm just saying you better take in everything into account when you start talking about the future of this basketball program.
Well, I think economics, one of those big factors as well. As much money as Frank Martin was making. I don't know. Has there ever been a time, Bill, where the basketball coach at Carolina's made more than the football coach? Maybe that happened with the Frank McGuire era?
Thinking we're living in it right now.
Right. Outside of that, 3.1, I think, is something where Frank's contract is. So if you're going to extend him, like several of you are saying, maybe you give him a year extension and an option for another one, so you have 4 technically. I don't think that's something that he would agree to necessarily. But I don't know. With the dollar figure that's there, you've gone over it before, Bill. What guys make at other programs? Justin and Roger just hit us up talking about Mike Boynton and the Oklahoma State coach. That program has been tremendous this year. It's helped that they had the top guy in the country come, and Cade Cunningham, who ended up being Big 12 Player of the Year. But it's crazy to me that, 9 years ago when Frank took over, Mike Boynton wanted to be on the staff, and there was just no room for him, basically, at Carolina. And it's gone from Frank Martin having that conversation with Mike Boynton to Mike Boynton being the guy that's getting his team into the NCAA tournament this year. And how much that has changed, I guess, through the 9 years, including a Final Four run for Gamecock basketball, which I never thought I would say is all part of where we are. And that's why this is especially a big topic of conversation today, that the season is now over, and now it's about where does this program go? Not just Frank Martin, not just some of these players like AJ Lawson you're talking about. What about the entire program? Because with just 2 years left on the contract, that's what you have to decide, Bill. I think that's your point, right? At the crossroads, either Frank Martin's going to be the guy, and not just for next year, but I know a lot of people are saying right now on the text line, well, give him one more year. You can't really hold this year against him because of the COVID issues. But I think that's your point, Bill, is that I don't know if you can come up with a contract situation where that makes sense for anyone economically, or the message that you would be sending to potential guys coming to the program to have any kind of confidence that their coach is going to be there for the long term.
Yeah, I mean, you can get away with that kind of stuff. I don't, and I'm not saying that next year, if you brought it back and you have an awful season next year, that you can't make a change. I don't think the contract needs to be a big deal. What I do kind of think is that the university maybe don't let this linger. I think I said a little while ago, maybe don't make a rash decision. But now that I kind of say that, you know what you've got in Frank Martin. You know, make the call. You know, Ray Tanner and the administration, Frank Martin, need to all sit down and make the call. And, you know, if Frank's a pretty sincere guy, when he talked last week in his press conference this week about not chasing jobs and wanting to be here, I believe that. You know, what I think you've got is a situation here where don't let anybody twist in the wind right now. Go ahead and make the call. If Frank's the guy, back him. Go ahead and get it done. And then move forward. And so, all right, so let's let Frank try and fix this. If there's got to be roster attrition or whatever he's got to do to get the roster he wants, and you've got year 10, you've got next year to see what he can do. I'm okay with that. I think that would be the direction I would probably prefer it to go. Frank's earned the right to get to fix a mistake at South Carolina and in his career. He gets the year to fix it, and the administration needs to come out, in my opinion, in the next 5 to 7 days and say that they back him, and to tell him, hey, he's got the opportunity to get this fixed. We'll see if that happens.
Aaron hits us up, says, I know the COVID stuff is a lazy and hated argument, but looking at a couple of traditional blue bloods struggle this year, is there not something to be said about chalking this year up as being a mulligan? Certainly something to be said for that, and they're not the only one thinking that. Josh says, is John Calipari on the hot seat? Is Coach K? Why then is Frank? Extend the contract, put this season behind us. Frank is the guy if he wants it. I think that last part is the interesting one as well, especially if anything goes down at Miami. Bill, with the strong ties that Frank obviously has, being from Miami and the whole thing, and that's where that timing, I think it gets very tricky from a university standpoint, knowing that thing could open up. I know you mentioned this possibility for months now, how Jim Larrañaga has struggled here in the last several years, and any inkling as to how that situation is going to go at this point now that the seasons are done?
Well, the thing with Miami, it's financial. It's 100% financial down there. They've invested everything into that football program at this point to get them back. Manny Diaz has gotten everything he wants. Jim Larrañaga, they're not going to be able to pay Frank Martin. Look, there's few schools that are going to pay Frank Martin $2 million, and now you're talking about he's making 3.2. So when I say $2 million, for Frank to take that, any job would have to be $1 million pay cut. Maybe South Carolina is able to offset it by not forcing a buyout. I don't know. Maybe they can help somewhere along the line if everybody wants to part ways in the best public manner. But that would be the issue, I think, for a Miami program right now is if they want to part ways with Larrañaga, they're going to have to go on the cheap as well, because they've spent so much money on their football program and trying to give Manny Diaz whatever he needs to get them back to being a top 10 football program, that the money's just not there right now for the basketball program.
Oh, Hope hits us up on the YouTube live stream and is pumped about the 618 subscribers jumping up this morning over the 600 mark. Would love to hit 700 if we do that. I don't know what, Patrick, what are you going to do if we do that this morning? I want to know. Probably.
Celebrate.
Yes, but how? You have to figure out a motivating factor out there to really get people to invite everybody on the YouTube page.
I feel confident that we can do it.
I like it.
If we got to 1,000, I would do something crazy.
Okay, that's fair. And Hope also adds, it's a beautiful view out there, Tim. Windermere Club is a great place. That's exactly where we are. And you're seeing through the window over my shoulder, I'm completely backlit in the Witness Relocation Program on the live video stream, Facebook Live, YouTube Live. You can check us out on Twitter on the station handle at 1075 The Game as well. 803-404-6100, the traditional way to get a hold of us. You can call or text. Plenty more to discuss as baseball gets ready to go at Texas tonight. And Deshaun Watson, he is the Houston Texans quarterback, their new coach says. I just don't believe it. It's the early game here on 107.5.
Quick, Triple A.
If you're like me, heating and air, very, very important. Something you really want around your house. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and even try and trick you. I don't know anything about heating air. I just know that I need it to work. And that's why I go to somebody I can rely on, my good friends at AAA Heating and Air. You need to do the same. I'm telling you what, they have taken care of me in the past. They'll take care of you now. So don't wait around and make a mistake. If you've got heating and air issues, give AAA Heating and Air a phone call today and allow them to come and fix what they can fix your heating and air units. They do a fantastic job. And most importantly, it's a family company. That's what matters to me. They're going to take care of my family. They're going to take care of your family. That's why I went to them. That's why they've been able to be so successful, is they care about other families. So give AAA Heating and Air a call. 803-677-1500 is how you can give them a phone call. 803-677-1500 is the phone number. Again, AAA Heating and Air. How about this? They'll buy back your unit, $1,500. They will actually buy it back for you. Give them, get in touch with them, man. I'm telling you, totally worth it each and every day. They know what they're doing. They're going to help you. They're going to make sure that you and your company, you and your family are happy, that you're completely taken care of. That phone number again, 803-677-1500. Again, they will buy back your old unit. $1,500 is what they'll pay you. Plus, they'll give you 0% financing with no money down on a new unit. That's taking care of family. That's what AAA Heating and Air does. You need to give them a phone call. 803-677-1500. That's AAA Heating and Air. Give them a phone call. Tell them Bill Gunner sent you.
Good. Probably only going to have like a minute when we come back.
Gotcha.
All right.
Patrick, does mic work? Does mic sound all right through your headphones or through the studio?
Yeah.
This mic sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, cool. This is just a handheld deal. We have a broken headset. It'll work.
Tim, are you still the only one out there, or has anybody else arrived out there?
8 o'clock, I think some other folks will be showing.
Gotcha.
Long day, though. Long day.
It is a long day. I do agree.
Was that, Bill, you always know that guy, the neighbor on Home Improvement? Is it
Wilson.
I thought it was Wilson. But I was like, no, that's the volleyball. Yeah,
Wilson.
621.
Oh, yeah, we're creeping up.
Travis, what are you talking about? They pay Frank Martin $3.1 million. How is that not an administration putting effort into the program, man? They got the new practice facility. Hear what they've done with the Carolina Coliseum. What do you want? I hear what you're saying, doing something different, but I mean, what's different besides hiring a different coach?
They should just try and recruit McDonald's All-Americans.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
Good point. I'll solve everything.
That's the problem. They don't try to recruit enough McDonald's All-Americans.
I think the football team should recruit more 5-stars too.
No, Chad, no unsubscribing.
Oh, and shout out to who was that? Sean, our youngest listener. Oh boy, Sean turning 9 today. Big day. You got a year on with this stuff.
Oh, all right. Friday. Yay. What a long week it's been.
Not in the witness protection program here.
Are re-sign and resign spelled exactly the same way, or is there a dash in re-sign?
I think there is not a dash, but there should be.
Yeah.
Like when Adam Schefter tweets that Pernell McPhee has
Hey, Michael.
resigned
at?
with Baltimore.
Good, man. Thanks for rolling in. Yeah, you guys welcome to sit wherever you want there. Cool. About to be on for just about a minute or so.
Yeah, we're back in 5 seconds.
Not much, man. I'm glad to have sunshine. Were you guys out here the last time we were out here? Oh, it was brutal.
Okay.
And I'm not nearly good enough at golf to play golf in bad weather.
Yeah.
So trying to figure out not only Gamecock basketball now, but where it's headed after last night's 17-point loss and 6-15 record this year is a main topic, as well as going to have some fun out here at the golf tournament at Windermere Club. And Blythewood would love for you to come by, even if you're not a late edition, but if you're thinking right now, you're heading into work, saying, I don't want to work, it's going to be a beautiful day. We might be able to get you in out here. Come on by and see what we can do. Going to raise money for a good cause. And just saw our guys from Integrated Media coming in today. They're going to talk to you in hour number 3, as well as some other guests. Bill, so your gas baggy hot takes might be limited in hour 3. You're going to be able to handle that?
I can handle that. I'll stay quiet, get some golf on over here. I tell you what, it's been a full week. I've gone now a full week without any coffee too, so that's kind of an interesting step in the direction. So yeah.
Trey wanted to make sure we give a shout out to our youngest listener, who is our youngest caller, he says, turning 9 today. Happy birthday to Sean out there. Speaking of that,
Get him a
Deshaun
YouTube account for his
Watson.
birthday.
What's that?
Good
Get him a
idea.
YouTube account for his birthday. Yeah, right.
Deshaun Watson, the new Texan coach, says he's going to be their quarterback. You guys see on The Athletic, they kind of polled all their beat writers. They voted that Deshaun Watson would be the starting quarterback for the Carolina Panthers next year. We'll discuss that a little bit more in hour number 3. Patrick, that's rude. Why are you giving me the buzzer?
He'll be a Dolphin.
Say, Texan.
Clear. I get the last
What's
word.
been up with you guys? Really? That's great. That's awesome. Any idea why the spike now?
We're always busy, but I think it's just lifestyle change.
Yeah.
Everybody-
Right.
travel. I think that has a lot to do with it. People have spending money because they're not
Right.
going out for dinner for next week, so
And
they're spending thousands of dollars on vacations.
right. And the old sports bar scene is pretty much non-existent. Helpful for you guys, I would imagine too, right?
Makes
Make,
a difference.
yeah, make your own.
And internet, we've done so
Sure.
many people's Wi-Fi network.
Mhm.
Made a big difference.
I bet. Yeah, is that kind of the stuff you guys want to
We
touch
got a
on, or
caller
where
right
you
here.
want to go when you hop on?
We're not a caller. We got
Making-
See where it goes.
Okay. It's interesting when I talk to people about that because I got a 2-page script here from Fred there who's very detail oriented, and I'm much more of the let's talk.
Yeah.
We can talk.
Let it be natural.
Right. It's radio. It's not rocket science.
Yeah, Dave will be here in just a little bit,
Okay.
and then Philip and Evan will probably get started getting our tent and stuff set up.
Gotcha.
I think Nathan said 17, 18 is where he was on.
Cool. This is 18 right back here. I know I'm going to be on 17 with Camp Cole. You guys are welcome to hop out there with me if you want to make it a big deal. If you guys want to have a separate spot, you might want to do. We'll be on 17T. You guys might want to be on 18T, where you can kind of see in on that, and then kind of have your own space too. I don't think they care where you do it necessarily, and I'm pretty sure you can probably hop up there where you want to. So is Dave going to be on with you? Is that the
we'll
plan?
see if he gets in time.
Okay.
I think he got stuck in traffic.
I think my plan is I told we're starting a new golf show on the AM, and so we're having their host on. I told him 8:05. If that's okay, we'll have him on the top, and then you guys 8:15ish. That work for you? You're not going anywhere.
I'm not going.
Cool.
You know, you can find the golf cart. Once you start loading it. I'm freaking watch. When you want, do a lap. See what we do good. There you go. There you go. Wherever you want to. I would do it as a woman in that scene all day. In all honesty. You're playing, you're not doing something. I'm not better now. Is Josh in here yet?
Josh is, yeah, he should be here in the next few minutes with some breakfast.
I'm glad I have a slice until you're right into that hole.
Yeah, 18's not bad at all, right? Start it on the water and let it come on back.
That's right. Except I look like boomerang.
Yeah, I hear you. Mine too, most of the time.
What's the old station, anything good?
I don't know, man. I haven't been there. It's crazy. Hey, some days, it's
Saves that long drive, yeah.
yep. But also, I'm right back to the kids immediately. I'm one of those dudes who doesn't mind a quiet car ride.
Right.
But I'm hoping we can get to the point where I don't know, 2-3 days a week, I can at least come into the studio, and at least have the option of working from home sometimes. So I'm not complaining, but yeah, I wouldn't call it ideal necessarily.
Nothing changed for us.
Good for you guys.
Like,
That's awesome,
it was just weird because we couldn't like really watch them.
right?
It was alcohol.
And you get to wear masks.
Luckily, out of the entire time until a month ago, Philip's kid died.
Oh wow, how old?
7 or 8. He was fine with that. But then his wife tested positive.
Mhm.
So he was out he never died. And he was there with him. It just makes no sense.
Right,
So, but we went the whole time with,
that's fantastic, right?
no issues. So,
Yeah, we've been lucky too until Jen's kid got it. He was not really a kid, he's 20, I think. That's why she's had to be out, like it's corporate policy, 14.
Maryland playing today, Patrick, or did they lose yesterday?
Philip said about 10.
They beat Michigan State.
Oh, did they?
This is where the old corporate structure works against you pretty good.
Right.
I need to look and see what the schedule is today. I mean, I'm going to go to the office for just a little while because I need to get out. But
New York and San Francisco.
They play Michigan at 11:30.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we would have been back. If it was up to us, we probably would have never left.
Right. Yeah, I think Dave's pushing to get back.
I'll have to get into some basketball. I watched a good bit last night.
It's kind of funny to me because it's like 2 miles away from his house. It's
I
not-
think he just likes that interaction with Pearson, though. You never see behind the glass,
Yeah.
like what's going on. Yeah.
And he gets to get out of the house of estrogen.
Yeah.
But that's going to help him too.
I'm gonna help him with that. Probably drinking food.
It's the opposite from my wife. That's the other thing. I feel for her. And they're all into sports these days too. It's crazy.
Really?
Morning.
Yeah, no, Maryland crushed Michigan State yesterday. They played awesome.
I haven't looked at the latest bracketology just to. Man, it's been crazy. I haven't paid as much attention in the past as I have pretty much every other year. I just can't get into it. I was thinking about that watching the tournaments yesterday, and just I don't know.
I don't know. I guess I'm a Big Ten guy now.
Well, it's been a good conference, like you said.
Probably one of the best ever in one single year. If you look at the Ken Palm, it is the best ever.
They've really fixed up this. All right. Let's see. I don't know. But see, here's the thing. Like, the tournament starts, what, next Friday?
Sounds right.
Like, it's not even the usual, like, cool Thursday start.
No, I'm not even a morning guy, so I can sleep in usually. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense at all. All right, Patrick. Have you made the call yet?
Yeah, he's ready.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So Selection Sunday is at 6. First 4 starts on Thursday.
Yeah, it's weird, right? Friday and Monday, we're doing all afternoon college basketball.
Yeah, see, why? I don't understand that. Why?
The bubble stuff, yeah, I don't get it either. Morning.
First round starts Friday.
Doing good. Thanks for having us. Nice work out there. Looking good. Yeah, I got A game.
I never know when I'm gonna wake up with. I had to find some time.
I'm pretty consistent at just the bad game. I don't have to worry about that.
Well, we're glad to have you out today.
Thanks, man. For sure. Getting after it here.
You're up.
Oh, what a beautiful day it is out here at the Windermere Club ahead of our spring golf tournament, sponsored by the Integrated Media guys, or sponsored by Integrated Media, I should say. Check them out at integratedmediainc.com. Going to talk more about them in just a second. First, Bill, we will discuss briefly Gamecock basketball last night, 17-point loss, 6-15 on the season, in a frustrating end to year number 9 for Frank Martin. Now the question is, what happens from here, would you say?
Yeah, that's going to be the big discussion. And again, I agree. I think in doing the show and talking with you guys here over the last 2 hours, South Carolina needs to move quickly here. Be proactive, whatever the decision may be. But don't let Frank Martin and these players and the university twist in the wind. If it's going to be Frank Martin, move forward with it. Give him the vote of confidence. Tell him that he can get it done, and allow him to go about fixing this thing now. The season's over. I mean, this is a unique position here. We're not waiting on any postseason kind of play whatsoever. I know that people say, well, South Carolina hadn't played in a bunch of postseason. Well, over the last few years, there have been kind of waiting to see maybe the CBI or maybe the NIT, something like that. Well, we know that none of that is even close to an option this year. The season is done. So move forward. What do we got here? What are we going to exactly do with this program? Let's get the foundation set in place. Again, the weather's turning. Spring football looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. We're kicking that off 2 weeks from Wednesday, from last Wednesday. So spring football's not far away either, and that might be less than that. For some reason, I think it's March 24th, but it might be March 21st. So spring football is just around the corner. Baseball is doing well. University's got a little bit of momentum. Go ahead and just get this thing, whatever the decision is going to be. Meet with Frank Martin this weekend or the very beginning of next week. Put out a statement, and let's move forward with this basketball program and see what's going to happen.
And we're moving forward with our conversation, moving over to the Love Chevy phone lines, where the Golf Shop Show host, Mark Greeny Greenhall, joins us now. And he joins us because you're going to be able to hear this right here in Columbia. Our sister station, ESPN 1320 AM, starts tomorrow, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. every Saturday, talking some golf. Greeny, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing this morning?
We're doing well. Wondering if you could, I'm sitting at a golf course right now. It's going to be a great day for golf, so I'm pumped up about that. Can you tell us about what you guys do every Saturday morning? I know obviously this weekend it'll be a lot about the Players Championship, and we're keeping our eye on that, and always seem to, in one way or another around Columbia, we're just happy to be a part of what you guys have been doing.
Yeah, I mean, our tagline for the show is tee to green and everything in between. So, we're going to talk golf. Obviously, we'll talk Players Championship. We'll do a little preview for the Honda Classic next week with Jane Broderick, who's the club manager over there. There's a lot going on around online betting now. And, when you watch NBC Sports, Golf Channel, they all talk about, their new channel on the Peacock that has some betting discussion going on. So we're going to talk to Charlie Grace, the president of Chirp, which is actually an app that you can do prop bets and who's going to win the tournament, and you're trying to compete against everybody else to win prizes. So we're going to go there. Obviously, we're going to talk a little bit about the Players Championship, but we also talk non-golf stuff. We bring on Bill Bender of the Sporting News, and we talk about whatever other sports are the hot topics. ACC tournament, getting ready to go to the dance, all the conference championships, who's in, who's out. So we'll talk about a little bit of everything.
Good stuff, man. That's my kind of sports talk radio for sure. You never know exactly where it's going. He's Mark Greeny Greenhall joining us here on 107.5 The Game, the early game. He's going to be one of the voices that you hear on our sister station, ESPN 1320 Columbia, every 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Saturday mornings. The Golf Shop Now is the show. Based out of Charlotte, Greeny, you guys have how long have you guys been doing it now?
I've been doing it for this is year 11 for me. My co-host, Matt Blanchard, he's been with me for about the last 2 years. We started out really small here in Charlotte. Now I think you guys might be the 14th station that we picked up. So we pretty much cover most of North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia at this point.
Speaking of that, are you a Dustin Johnson guy, DJ? We've long followed him. I saw him win the Columbia City Golf Tournament in like 2003 and 4, somewhere way back then. It's when I first came to know Dustin Johnson, and now one of, if not the best golfer in the entire world. What are your thoughts about DJ?
Yeah, well, I actually have DJ this week. On the show each week, we, myself, Matt, and our producer, Phil, we each pick 2 favorites and then a long shot, which is based on the odds. We have a list of long shots. So my picks this week were Dustin Johnson, where Justin Thomas were my 2 favorites, and ironically enough, my long shot was Sergio Garcia, who's got 7 under yesterday. So I'm hoping Sergio can hang on. But Yeah, DJ, struggled a little bit yesterday in the early part of that round. Made an early birdie to get to 1 under. Just nothing happened after that. Then he kind of seemed to find it in the afternoon. Unfortunately, the 3-putt on 17 cost him a little bit, but we'll see how he comes out of the gate this morning. And I'm here to tell you, the boys that are playing this morning, they have a chance because they had some pretty good weather yesterday afternoon. I mean, it was probably one of the most equal tournaments I've ever seen between the morning wave and the afternoon wave. And the golf course is only going to get harder. No rain, a little bit of wind. It's going to get firmer and firmer and firmer. The Sunday afternoon could be epic for the Players' Championship.
No doubt about it. And Bill, why don't you tell them about your thoughts about Bryson DeChambeau and Patrick Reed? Because Greeny, this guy just annoys me by his affinity for both. I think they're both good for golf. Don't get me wrong, but they are easy to dislike. Bill, you go ahead.
Well, I've come around on Bryson DeChambeau. I was not a Bryson DeChambeau fan a year ago, but watching him last weekend, I think except his role. In all honesty, what I think happened is that somebody got to Bryson DeChambeau in the offseason. It's like, dude, you can't act like a whiner quite as much. You have the ability with the way you play the game to really be a huge force with the fan base and to kind of be the face of golf. And last week I saw that pulling up the driver on number 6, man, those 2 drives. And then on Saturday when he smashed it, and he's over there, he's fist pumping, he's pointing at it. I got into it a little bit for him and some of the backstory with him and Arnold Palmer and getting the note from Palmer was really cool. Patrick Reed's just a good dude. I'm all for Patrick Reed. I mean, we need a villain in golf, and he plays it up to the max. Good golfer. We need more Patrick Reed out there. We need a little NASCAR on the PGA on the PGA Tour.
What do you think, Reed?
Well, it's interesting. Yeah, I'm a Patrick Reed fan. Patrick Reed, for me, he shows up, he plays, and he leaves. You don't get any of the other stuff. You don't get commercials. You don't get I want to be the the guy that's on the camera all the time. Whereas Bryson's kind of the opposite of that, and you'll find out real quick on the show that we actually have tagged Bryson. We call him the brand because when he got on the cameraman, he said, "You're ruining my brand." So Bryson is the brand. Tiger tried to get in Bryson's ear. I don't know if it was the pregnant pause, and it took a couple months for Bryson to figure it out after Tiger kind of told him, "Hey man, do your thing." But it's almost like do your thing, but do it. Just do it. Don't make a big deal out of it. And that's been my problem with Bryson all along is that, you're known more for using a compass and single length golf clubs and, for this and for that. And you're not known for winning golf tournaments. You got to flip the script on that and be the guy that wins golf tournaments, but does all this other stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it was fun to see him do that last week, but I think that there's got to be a balance for him. He got a little lucky yesterday. He hit some pretty ugly-looking tee shots and got away with a few of them. And that's kind of the thing, is that if he gets away with it, he's okay. If he doesn't, he's making doubles and triples.
Well,
so I think he's got to learn to balance that a little bit.
But that's part of learning to play, man. Look, I love Roy McIlroy, but I haven't seen McIlroy finish on a Sunday in weeks. And yesterday, McIlroy shoots a 79. Part of it is learning to play when you're not on your A game. And I've got to say, DeChambeau and these guys ripped me. I called him DeChambeau a while back because he just cried about everything. And so with that being said, I thought he whined too much. But you're right. He didn't have his A game yesterday. And he still shoots a 69. He found a way to play 18. I got to admit, I was pulling for him to leave the internal out of bounds or whatever, to leave the area open between, what is it? I don't know what you want to – over by 9, I guess. But, I'm all for it, man. I kind of like DeChambeau. He's a guy – I don't know if he'll become the most refined golfer in the world and really become the best. But what I do see is a guy who is going to be must-see golf every time he's on the course. Right.
No doubt about it. I feel like you should do your own golf show and continue on with this conversation, but we got to cut you off right there. He's Mark Greenhall. You can follow him on Twitter at Golf Shop Greeny. You can listen to the Golf Shop Show now, starting on Saturdays tomorrow on ESPN 1320 AM right here in Columbia, our sister station. You can listen to it online, ESPN1320Columbia.com. Greedy, really appreciate the time, and glad we are a part of the Golf Shop now on Saturdays. All right, I'll work blue tomorrow morning on your show. Thanks for keeping it clean here on ours. That's, again, Mark Greenhall, Golf Shop Greeny, where you can follow him on Twitter and listen to his show every Saturday starting tomorrow, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. A lot of golf talk there. We'll get back into some Gamecock-specific talk when we come right back. Good. This is a good sign, guys. I'm seeing, yeah, Panera Breakfast just arrived here at the Windermere Club, Patrick. Oh, no. What could be possibly bigger news than that? That is pretty big. Patrick's got some NFL stuff to talk about. He's getting excited. We'll get into the Deshaun Watson stuff as well. You're listening to the early game here on 107.5 The Game.
All right. That's a good ring.
Yo. Thanks for bringing breakfast.
Yeah, sorry, we're Professional 20 has been going on for about 4 years now.
Sorry, I should have given you the headset the whole time so you could at least listen to the show. Come on over, man. Wherever you feel comfortable. Your call. Whatever you feel good with. That one is the working headset. And then if Dave makes it, that mic doesn't work. But I don't have another working headset, unfortunately. And I think it should be good on your ears there.
You got stuff in the traffic too.
I feel like I should go sit outside now and have my view of the lake.
Nice. Competing views on the live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty soon they'll make laptops the same way as cell phones, right? Where you could flip around the camera and just shoot it at you.
Maybe. One day.
I think it's nice outside.
It's fantastic out there.
Yeah.
So just the website, the best spot to go? You like simple enough. And is it Integrated Media Columbia? Is that how you have it on Facebook and Instagram? Yes.
If I get nervous, just get on now.
No problem. That's what I'm here for. I'm used to doing outfield.
Been to a show a couple times.
Not nearly as deep as Jay, don't worry. I prefer to ask the much simpler questions.
All right, so we got Watson and Deshaun Watson and Cam Newton, huh? Patrick, was that expected with Cam Newton?
I take Watson.
Yeah, I hear you. Howdy.
Good morning.
Morning.
Not necessarily expected, but it was probably the most likely landing spot.
I'm Dave.
Nice to meet you too. Dave, what's your last name so I can give you the formal introduction?
Riley.
Riley? That's easy enough for me. I'll screw it up, but I'll.
That's okay. It's been listened before.
So that's your mic right there.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't have a headset for you. I
No worries.
had one, it just wasn't working. But if you hold it right around here, you'll be good.
Okay.
Just pop on and shoot the breeze if you're cool with that.
Sure.
We'll bail us out if we get nervous.
Probably me bailing then.
Does that mic get to your mouth there on that one?
Okay. I just didn't put it all the way.
Gotcha. I think it's actually, I think it might supposed to be flipped there the other way. It might be why it's being goofy on you.
Backwards.
Yeah,
that
there you
makes
go.
no sense.
Oh, you get to play today? Or you're going to be tinting it up?
No, I'll be playing.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll be out there packing it up.
Fantastic.
I'm the hack of the team. But nonetheless, it's going to be a beautiful day, so I'm excited about it.
Yeah. So if I get distracted here, We got the live video stream up and rolling here, and I look like I'm a witness protection program, all dark with the light behind me.
I subscribe, number 623.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
What about you, Dave? Are you in on the YouTube channel?
I'm not.
We got another recruit here, gentlemen.
I heard that.
They get you to thousands. You make those big bucks.
Exactly.
623.
Crashing is all about
We're
it.
heading in.
All right. That's going to be you there, Michael. That's you, Dave. Yep, heard you, Michael. You mind talking to that real quick, Dave?
Here.
Oh, beautiful. I hear you just fine.
You're up.
So we are up and rolling here at the Windermere Club. Today's spring golf tournament, sponsored by Integrated Media, and I'm fortunate to be joined by a couple of their guys right now, Michael Beckham and Dave Riley, hanging out with me. So, Bill, just so you know, as you're sitting in your sunroom, because you're still a little under the weather, and I basically told you to stay away, right? So don't get us sick. Stay away. I get it. If you go out to the golf tournament, I know you'll get into it. You'll get competitive, and then you'll probably be out all next week. So I appreciate the professionalism over there.
I feel like you protected everybody there from my coughing, from my hack, because it probably also you would have had to explain. No, he's tested negative. Like 'cause I don't sound good when I cough right now. It does sound very bad. People look over at me. So I feel like you stepped in and protected everybody, and also protected me as well. That's what a good friend does.
Just so you guys know as well, we've got Michael on the headsets here, so he just heard you loud and clear. Dave over here is going old school style, just holding a microphone, so he can't hear your comments, Bill. He'll just get to be able to expose to my radio gold, not yours.
Okay.
Good with that?
He'll have a blast, and he'll have a better time than most.
Well, I want to get these guys' opinions. We've been talking about it all morning about Gamecock basketball and the whole thing. Michael, I know you follow it and a fan. What do you think about what we saw this season, man, and what happens from here?
I hope Frank Martin stays. I enjoy him because they think he gives us some identity.
There's no doubt about that. Any explanation for what happened this year? Because we've been talking about it all year. I hadn't figured it out. I don't know if Frank's figured it out.
I'm not sure. I mean, you got Duke not making the tournament for the first time. Who knows how long? Kentucky didn't have a good year. I think Frank gets so past this year.
Yeah, Bill, do you know that stat? I saw it floating around yesterday. Duke and Kentucky not making the tournament, I think for the first time since the 60s combined. I know it's been 95 since Duke didn't make it.
I want to say 64. I'll see if I can research that.
1964.
I want to say I could.
Let him stay.
I hear you. There's certainly plenty of evidence to support that. Dave, are you a Gamecock guy as well?
Of course, have to be.
And Dave's going to get on the course today. I'm looking forward to joining your group. We're going to do a closest to the pin thing out at 17, raise some money for Camp Cole. What's your opinion now about the Gamecock basketball situation?
You know, I think Frank deserves another shot, another year at it. Got to give the guy a chance.
9 years. Some people, I think, I'm seeing on our Cool Care Heating and Air text line, think that's plenty enough chance. To me, what that Final Four run, I think, gives as much leash as you could possibly give a Gamecock basketball coach, having been around it for decades and decades. We'll continue to talk about it in the next several days. I think it's going to be interesting to see what comes out. But I want to hear a little bit more about you guys. I was talking a little bit to you, Michael, off the air, and you guys are busy men these days, right?
Oh, yeah, we're staying busy. We're helping everybody work from home, learn from home, enjoy being at home. We're doing a lot of new TVs for people, as well as outdoor setups. The weather's getting nice. So I guess a couple months ago, we put a new TV out for Jay. The afternoon show, he has a cool setup outside now, surround sound outside on his patio, so he can watch the soccer out there. So.
Bill, have you been invited over yet? I haven't been invited over. Maybe, I guess right now you can say you got to wait a few weeks. Maybe he's giving us the social distancing thing. But now that I know it's outside, there's no excuse.
No, I haven't. But that's because our taste in music and I think beverages of choice are different. Jay's not a bourbon drinker. He can't hang with me quite like most people can.
He's more of a craft beer guy.
Yeah, he's soft that way. He's soft that way. He's not going to deal with.
I don't know.
He's not going to be.
It's going to be soccer either. So.
That's true.
I'm vocals on Sundays at the 8 to 10-year-old Lexington League. Or known as the hooligan of the Lexington League.
So when I hear integrated media, and hearing the spots with Grayson Griner is a great example about it. And you guys see that, by the way?
That's in the text.
Yeah, that's good. Good to hear for sure. I'm glad, that was scary stuff, man. Getting 94 in the face and a broken nose. I think he's lucky to get out of it as well as he did. And now can get back to work there with the Detroit Tigers. But integrated media, Dave, what's the best way, maybe the simplest way to describe what you guys do professionally for those out there?
You know, we help the customers invest back into their homes, you know, and bring that comfort of living around to, you know, where.
And it's all kinds of stuff, right? I mean, when you're talking about integrated media, you're talking about TVs, internet, speakers. You guys make sure all of that works. Is that maybe the simplest way to put it?
With home automation, you know, helping the customers just enjoy their homes a little bit more so than they were previously. You know, given what we've gone through in the last 12 months.
Wait, when you say home automation, you're talking about a robot house. Is that what you're saying?
Negative. You know, basically, you know, where you can, as you pull into the driveway, your lights come on. You know, your house basically just kind of come to life when it recognizes you, and it gives you the ability to make sure that your home's secure when you're away from it as well.
So everything that confuses me at my house, you guys take care of and make it easy as possible. Is that what you're saying,
Open
Mike?
the garage, lights come on, change your favorite music, 107.5 game streaming, listen to Heath when you get home.
I see what you're doing.
See?
Well
What's
done,
the
Mike.
biggest
Yeah,
TV you put in somebody's house?
Biggest TV?
Yeah.
We've done a lot of projectors. We've probably done 160 inch.
Oh.
We do a lot of cool 3 TV setups. So like this weekend is a great sports weekend. You got the players, you got the tournaments for conferences, you got Selection Sunday. So
Little Gamecock baseball going on as
we'll
well.
use Jay as an example, because he's got all the cool stuff at his house. So he's got a TV and then 2 other TVs, so he can have the main event going as well as 2 others. So
I wish you guys could see Patrick's face right now. He's 25 years old.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
he just got
that's
some
the
stuff from
dream.
the girlfriend the other day.
So and it's crazy though. We do that a lot in homes, like in basements, little bar areas. People enjoy having to be able to watch 3 games. So it's really nice to have some options.
And also, what's really nice about. Go ahead, Bill.
I was going to say, Patrick had the original. What was it? Now, yours was not as nice as what these guys are talking about, because you had boxes set up to.
Yeah, I basically had TV up on the shelf, and then a TV on the ground, a laptop up on a cardboard box.
Yeah, he's a little.
It's okay. You're graduating one day.
This was years ago. Now my setup's a little bit different. I put the 2 or 3 TVs outside. I got the lake right behind it, and got the grill going with the ribs and everything. So it's just a little bit different. It's a little bit. Hey man, you got it. Like you said, it is interesting what you guys are talking about. We've talked about it a lot, and especially with South Carolina recently rolling back tickets. But people learning how much fun it is to sit at home because of what you can do with your home entertainment unit or system, or how you can set it up to enjoy college football Saturdays, or as you guys are pointing out, like this tomorrow with college basketball and with golf. But the ability that you guys have to set somebody up on a Saturday afternoon for college football, and for people to be able to enjoy that versus going to an actual football game.
Oh yeah, it's tough to go to one game when you're missing 4 or 5 great games on TV. Sometimes it's just nice to have that ability.
And I feel like as you were saying that, maybe Ray Tanner and the marketing folks over at USC have Dave and Michael's faces up as like enemy number 1 as they're trying to get people out of
Yeah,
exactly, trying to figure out this is their opponent. The guys from Integrated Media joining us here, Dave Riley, Michael Beckham. Dave, as you were talking about what you guys do, I think one of the other things about you guys is that as opposed to you go to a big box store, you get your TV, what happens if it's not working? Right? You guys are local, and then if something isn't working exactly right, it's Dave and Michael. You guys give them a call. They give you a call, and you're out there, and you're the guys that can just say, "Oh, well, here's what happens," and I push this button, and now you're up back and rolling. That simple. Is it that how it works?
To a point, we kind of go out and have a little consultation with the customer, see what their wants and needs are, and what that end goal might be, and then I get with the guys and we put together a proposal for them, see if it's going to work for whatever the end plan might be.
And then any kind of issue, it's another call, and then boom, you're right back out there. How much?
Yeah, so we have some good service opportunities for people. We have a smart service plan that gives people after-hour support and stuff on the weekend, which is really nice because sometimes it is technology, unfortunately, it may not just work right. We want to cooperate with you. But like you just said, we're local. You get our cell phone numbers. You can text us, call us, email us. You're going to get the same people. Whereas a big box store, who knows who knows who's working that next day. So and we pride ourselves on selling good stuff. We know what works. We have people call us all day long with stuff that's not working. We know what products to pick and which ones that just work better. So it's definitely local is definitely a little easier in this profession.
And just hearing your voice, I'm one of those guys that I can read a review on a website or whatever, but I'm a little skeptical. I'm like, hey, did they write that on their own review? Where did that come from? But just to hear a local voice and to have some personal experience with this, I think makes all the difference.
Yeah, we've been around since 2006, so we've met a lot of people around town. We actually do have really good reviews out there. So, if you want to read about us, look at our Facebook page. We put a bunch of pictures up, not as much as we should sometimes. We get busy and get lost in the weeds. But Facebook, Instagram, we have a lot of cool pictures and projects. Our website's integratedmediainc.com. Give us a call. See if we can help you out.
That's Michael Beckham, Dave Riley here from Integrated Media as well. The website, integratedmediainc.com. Guys, we really appreciate the time. Really appreciate you sponsoring the golf tournament out there. Dave, I wish you good luck. It sounds like we have similar golf games out there. We need all the luck we can get.
Absolutely.
And I think you guys will be set up right around the clubhouse here for all the extra information. And again, integratedmediainc.com is the website. Appreciate the time, guys.
Appreciate it.
All right, we'll move back into that Deshaun Watson, Cam Newton news. Patrick's all over the NFL. Anything else you want to add, Patrick, before we hit the break?
I'm just saying, I know more about TVs and movies and watching several games at once than Grayson Griner and Jay Phillips combined.
Patrick stuffing for the endorsement. Love it. It's the early game here on 107.5 The Game.
Clear. All right, Beeford.
Gotcha. I got to do a little commercial here myself. Nice work on there, guys. Appreciate it.
Locked up under there.
That happens sometimes.
Ty, here's what I think. I think you're gonna have to. Ty, do you have a TV that you can stream
I
on?
was just talking about it here out at the Windermere Club ahead of our golf tournament, but how much a
think that's what
difference
you're gonna have to
personal
do.
touch means to me with business. And it's across the board for me. I need someone that I can trust doing business with. Buford Lindy and Benji Getsy can be that guy for you when it comes to getting you your mortgage. He's a mortgage broker. Buford Lindy's been doing it for 25 years. And Benji knows exactly what he's doing and actually encourages you to go out there and call whoever you've used before. He says, please do that, because he wants to prove to you that he can get you the absolute best deal moving forward on your mortgage. If you're refinancing or getting a new house, maybe you're in the same place in life I'm at where your family is expanding and you're looking to expand your house, Benji Getsy is your guy at Buford Lending. Give him a call at 843-524-2404. The fact that he's a mortgage broker and not attached to a bank, he feels like gives him an advantage, and certainly his 25 years of experience in the industry does it as well. Benji Getsy, Buford Lending. He's my broker, your broker, and South Carolina's broker. Give Buford Lending a call, 843-524-2404. This video element added to this is definitely a challenge for me.
I would stream it off of my phone,
Yeah,
owned
exactly. I feel like we pride ourselves in being a relaxed show, and like being authentic.
I don't know how I'm going to watch it this weekend yet.
A live video stream.
Patrick, what exactly do you think is the deal with ESPN Plus? Are you pleased with? Is it $5.99 a month?
Absolutely. I'm going to do that right now.
I do the bundle with Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus, and it's $13.99 a month.
Do you get Longhorn Network with ESPN Plus? No? Okay. So don't do that either. You know what though? I feel like we're all gonna have to go to ESPN Plus in the very near future. But you said you don't get like ACC Plus or Big Ten Plus or anything.
All right, we'll do.
No, ESPN Plus is its own thing. Like only games that are specifically on ESPN Plus.
Straight to you.
Camp Bowl guys are here too. Do you want me to send them that?
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
John and Kelsey. We'll see you guys out there.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll be hanging out at 17.
Yeah.
And
I
then
got 48 balls. I may need bars.
No heckling, no heckling.
not a promise. I'll let you heckle too, though. That'll be the fair part. Exactly.
Thanks, sir.
That's interesting. You can get like it looks like Hope said you can get a free trial of Longhorn Network. That might be what everyone has to do is try and get a free trial and then
John, what's up, man?
make sure to unsubscribe before.
How are y'all?
Good. How are you?
I don't know. Yeah.
John, good seeing you.
You'll never use the Longhorn Network for anything else.
I agree. I agree.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Cassie Green. Nice to meet you.
Cassidy.
John's on our board. She's marketing events. I'm operations.
Okay.
But however you want to. And John's really good. But we wanted to see if we could offer support and help. And we'd be happy to talk too
Okay.
and fill in some of the numbers or some of the stats or whatever.
Okay. Well, I got 2 mics. However, you guys want to fight over it. Yeah, you're smart, Cassidy.
Patrick, I got Corley Pool Solutions after this.
Yeah.
You know stuff, I know stuff.
Nice.
I mean, if not, I'll make them up. That's what I'm saying.
Green,
Great.
like the color.
Cassidy Green. Got it. I'm writing that down right now. John, is it Hinkle? Is that right? Am I making that? Hinks. So
Hinks with an
close.
H.
John Hinks.
Way to remember that, man.
Hey, John,
It's been a year, bro.
It's been more than that, I think, right?
Yeah.
Football season. It was like a year ago.
Football season.
Crazy, right? And Ken
Ken Corning.
Corning.
Dude, we're almost done building this.
That's awesome. That's why I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. You can sit wherever you feel comfortable. I just have to put up the sign.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
We're coming back in a couple seconds.
In the morning.
Cool, thank you. It's wild how you can get an image of some
Yeah.
voices, right?
Yeah, I don't know
And
what
then-
I thought you
We're coming back.
were answering in the morning.
Got it, Patrick.
Put it on.
Yeah, we're rolling. You hear all right over there? You good? So sorry I don't have a headphone for you, but we'll try not to make too much fun of you all. Where you can't hear. Rolling along here on a Friday morning, man. This is like my social Super Bowl. I have seen more people outside of my family here in the last 5 minutes than maybe the last 6 months combined. I am pumped to be joined by a few more guests out here. And Bill, again, we have the situation. We got John Hinks on the headset right now from Camp Cole. John, you will remember about a year and a half ago, you physically intimidated, I think is fair enough to say, out throwing some axes.
That's right.
Over at Lawyer Leases. John was part of that. Do you remember that, Bill? There's a picture, a very memorable picture of you standing beside John. You don't remember, do you, Bill? Oh, his eyes are saying he doesn't remember it.
No, I mean I remember. I remember. Look, you never forget a giraffe when you meet one. I mean, good lord. I mean,
so rude. How dare you,
I
sir?
mean, I'd never met a Yeti before, but it was cool. Like 7'9". I mean, yeah, I remember John pretty well.
John, what is the official height, sir? Like it's 6'7"?
Oh my gosh. Well,
6'7",
6'9".
6'9".
But the older I get, I think I'm kind of getting down there a little
I
bit.
understand.
Yeah, well, see, the problem, like you just said, the older you get, you're getting down there. But we also are shrinking, so it's not. There's not. We.
Yeah.
So the margin stays the same.
Sorry, big hair. Patrick's the only one. As he gets older, he gets taller, I guess.
25-year-old Patrick is not shrinking yet. Ken Corning also here from Camp Cole. Ken, thanks for joining on with us here. Sorry we don't have the headset for you, but we're just making fun of you for about 5 minutes.
No worries. I'm really happy to be here.
And we want to tell some guys about Camp Cole. It's been a year and a half since I see you, John. It's crazy, right?
It went by fast.
But I remember talking to you at the time. And Camp Cole, when I hear about a camp, I think, oh, this is going to be great. It's going to, you send your kid off there to a week and the whole thing. And that is not what Camp Cole is. We're out here trying to raise money for Camp Cole because it's something that we certainly believe in at 107.5 The Game, having heard about the concept originally from you a year and a half ago. And now you guys are close from turning this thing from a concept into reality.
From a dream to a reality. Absolutely. Yeah. We're right around the corner, man. Grand opening is the beginning of June. And
We are serving this summer. It's a little surreal, not gonna lie. It's been a life. It's been a long dream for a lot of people, and it was daunting at the very beginning, looking at what we were going to try to accomplish in little old Columbia, South Carolina. And
can I give it a shot at what that is? If you're hearing about it for the first time, I think it can be a little confusing.
Sure.
So how I understand it is you guys want to be that center.
That's right.
For a lot of other organizations to come to be able to give kids with specific challenges the opportunity to get the more traditional camp experience.
I describe it as this: like, you imagine a group of individuals that are all suffering a dark time in their life, and maybe it's just a similar. They all face similar things. Or think of a Down syndrome community, right? So I imagine them as the church, and I imagine Camp Cole as the building that it's being held in. So, and the building is specifically designed to accommodate all walks of life. That is how I describe Camp Cole.
And one of the reasons why it was such a dream and so many challenges, I would imagine, putting all this stuff together. And Ken, what does all that entail to start today?
Yeah, it's been a lot. So we got all the buildings, all the space, programming, the swimming pool. It's a zero-entry swimming pool, waterfront with boating and fishing, building a fishing pier at the end of this month, and then therapeutic horseback riding. To get to this point, it's really been a great board. John Hinks is on our board. We're really thankful for our board members. Hood Construction is really in charge and have done a great job with the main part of campus. And then Great Southern Homes builds our Courage cabins, which house up to 194 campers at one time, campers and counselors. So to get here has been a process. It's been kind of fast. Since I've been involved, we're grinding through every day, but we're really going to have something super special for our first campers in June.
I'd also give a shout out to the Industry Association as well. That's a local group here. The builders, folks like Eddie Handel with Executive Construction and stuff, played also integral parts in the pre-planning stage of everything happening. It could not have been done without the resources that our local community provided. I mean, people stepped up when we were kind of clueless about, okay, how do you build this amazing facility? And people were just like, yeah, we're here to help. And it's a lot of an integral part was the Builders Association. The connections and the communities that we created there were a huge part.
That's the voice of John Hinks there on the board with Camp Cole, who's going to be out here today at our spring golf tournament. You going to the 17th hole with me? You going to go out there?
Yeah, I'll head out there.
You got to check it out.
I was hoping for the 19th hole.
How's the golf game these days?
It's a COVID golf game, man. I'm going to be honest with you. It actually, when I say that, it got a little bit better.
Right.
And then the winter hit, and it just got worse.
Okay, fair enough. I'm going to try to do a little closest to the whole thing out there and raise a bunch of money. And one of the reasons why I love trying to help you guys out is that we're not just helping John and Ken here. We're not. Nice. Cassidy's with them as well from Camp Cole, but it's not just one organization we're helping out. It's that you guys help out the other organizations, and that we can kind of spread out that love, if that makes any sense.
That's the Ken, take that part.
Yeah, just to give you an idea, this summer we'll be serving. We'll have a camp called Camp Impact for children experiencing homelessness. We have a group coming up from Charleston called Camp Rise Above that has children with that have genetic disorders, cystic fibrosis, cerebral palsy, etc. And then we'll also have pediatric children with pediatric cancer and their siblings coming in August. So it's a large variety of people that we'll be partnering with, and I appreciate you pointing that out because that gives sort of a better picture of what we do at Camp Cole.
And the money that we raise, we create scholarship programs. So the more money that we raise at this point, we're actually now raising money for programs. That's what we're doing. So it's very organic. So if there's a population that we're not identifying, it really just takes a phone call and say, hey, think of this. And it gives us the opportunity to create a camp for a lot of folks that may not even know, or there's no camp. And why camp? Why is it camp? Well, I mean, growing up, summer camp was the thing. That's where you made your lifelong friends. That's where you met people. And is there a better environment to just sit on a bench around the campfire and just talk and hang out, watch the world go by? And that's camp, So that's where you kind of create those bonds. And that's what we're really trying to focus on, is we're connecting people. And the camp, the facility is just the tool that we're using to do that.
Yeah, Bill was talking earlier about PC basketball camp back in the day. He was there and starting a young coaching career. I always talk about going to Duke basketball camp. And you're talking about your Carolina basketball camp experience, Bill, where you're slapping daggers on people and hitting game-winning shots, right? There is something special about there's a really just formative experience. No matter what kind of camp it was, first of all, it's different, right? You're out of your comfort zone, and maybe that's why it sticks in the back of our brains as much as it does. But then also those highs that you experience. And John, I remember speaking to you about this distinctly a year and a half ago.
That's right.
Just the impact it's had on you to see, especially kids with challenges, overcome things or achieve things that they might not have thought ever possible in these camp experience.
Well, if we give them the experience to overcome any challenge at camp, then they're going to take that courage and overcome their fears outside of camp, right? And that's what camp was for me. I mean, my personal experience was rock climbing. I mean, I'm able to go rock climbing, but I'm scared to death of heights. But so I took on that challenge and unfortunately, I'm still scared to death of heights, but I'll get up a ladder now. You know what I mean? So it's like one of those things, and yes, I'm tall and you're scared of heights. I get it. But
that's coming from Bill. He was just waiting to find out.
I got ahead of you on that, Bill. But that's the idea, you know. I mean, that's the cool thing. So the camps that we've served in the past, like, you know, you see these kids and even with the challenge that they're facing at the time, a lot of these opportunities, these kids, even if they weren't going through what they're going through, would never be able to face these challenges or be able to experience these things. So it's kind of twofold, you know. We're providing an experience that they can do because it's specifically designed for them to be able to do it, and two, they wouldn't be able to experience some of these experiences outside of camp. So it's kind of a
win-win that way.
And adding to that, what separates us from other camps is one big thing is we have a state-of-the-art medical care facility. So anybody that has a medical challenge can still function in a camp setting because we can be right there for them with all their medical needs. And we're also 15 miles from Children's Hospital. So if somebody were to get into more significant trouble, we can get them the help they need very quickly. So a lot of camps are up in the mountains away from any medical care. We're close by, we're still out. So it feels like camp. You still feel like you're away from home, because you are, but you also have the medical support both on site and in Children's Hospital.
Right off 378 out towards Hopkins out that way, right?
That's right.
And if you want to find out more information, campcole.org, is that the place to go?
campcole.org. If you'd like to help us out, there's a way to donate there. You can also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of those things. We'd love to have more followers and everyone spread the word. And if anybody does want to make a financial or volunteer contribution, they can do that through our website, campcole.org.
Ken Corning, John Hinks, great to have you guys out here. We're really happy that we can be a part of helping you guys help the world be better.
It's huge that you guys are doing this. Y'all have always been big supporters. The community is this. I love this town. I love this area. Columbia has just been a huge part of making this happen, and y'all are a part of that. And just thank you from the bottom of our heart. This is a blueprint for things to come. This is beautiful. So thank you.
Absolutely, man. It's what the golf tournament is all about here today. Not just having a good time, but doing it for a good cause. We will try to end well as well. We can't say end good, right? We'll try to do some good radio to end well on the show.
That's right.
I'm with you.
I'm a word there. I don't know. It's coming up next. It's the early game. It's 175 the game. Great job, guys. Absolutely.
Corley. Oh, summer is just around the corner. That means jumping in the pool, maybe going on the lake. But again, for a lot of you, it probably means more about jumping in your home pool. And if you're going to do that, you better make sure it's a clean pool. Don't jump in a dirty one. You need somebody to maintain it. Let's be honest, you work all week. You got stuff you got to deal with in life. You really want to come home on a Saturday, have to go to the pool store, go buy the chemicals necessary, figure out exactly how to mix them, what you've got to do, and then you run the risk of messing it up and ruining the entire weekend. Don't do it. Have an expert take care of your pool. Use Corley Pool Solutions. It's actually cheaper. Did you know this? It's actually cheaper to have Tracy Corley and his team maintain your pool, professionally maintained, than it is for you to do it yourself. Making trips to the pool store, buying the chemicals, doing all the things that you've got to do. It's actually cheaper with Corley Pool Solutions. flat monthly rate, whether
Yes, sir.
it's testing
you
of
have a great day.
chemicals, vacuum and netting, whether it's brushing and skimmer cleaning, filter back washing. They take care of all of it so that when you're ready to walk out back, jump in the pool, and enjoy the time with the family, it's there. It's available. It's ready. Tracy Corley has been in the business for 20 plus years, knows exactly what he's doing. He and his team are on call and ready to help you. So give him a phone call and start the process. 803-445-8109. Again, that's 803-445-8109. You want your pool ready to use when the summer is here. Don't wait around. Pool maintenance is year-around type stuff, and you need to start the process today. 803-445-8109. That's Corley Pool Solutions. Yeah, Nick Markakis is retiring. Cam Newton's signing. All kinds of stuff happening.
Where'd Tim go?
Who knows? Probably breakfast.
This is a short break, and the show's almost over.
Yeah, we'll be all right. We'll figure it out. You and I have done a show before.
Yep. There's only gonna be like a minute when we come back anyway.
All right. That's a week.
Man, we got Maryland basketball at 11:30 and Trey Lance Pro Day at 11.
Oh, you gonna have the two TVs set up? What's gonna be the setup?
I guess I'm only gonna be able to sleep for an hour and a half.
You don't have to work tonight, do you?
No, I do have to work tonight.
Oh, well, you sleep a little bit later.
But I woke up at 11 yesterday, so I haven't really slept at all. I'm gonna try and get up.
Yeah, get up, get a little food, maybe get out, maybe enjoy the day. Does the girlfriend work?
Yeah, she's out of town this weekend though.
Oh, look out, everybody. Big carrots on the loose.
I gotta work here every day though.
Yeah, you got busy days. Well, at least basketball.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Phillips is coming in here. Let's see if I can give you a shot of Jay. He's also in the witness relocation program there in the back lighting.
I just see
No,
it.
I'm doing
We're
that.
about,
Oh boy.
we're coming in
We got
right
the
now.
Final few minutes here. We're gonna knock out.
Coming back.
I'm about to hit it up here. Sorry, didn't have the volume up. You guys good?
You're up.
So been able to give you a lot of what's going on today here at the golf tournament here in the last few minutes, and happy to have a bunch of guests. Now I know, Patrick, you've just been chomping at the bit to weigh in with the NFL news. Cam Newton has re-signed with the New England Patriots, is what you're telling me?
Yeah, it looks like a 1 year, $14 million deal. Pretty good payday for Cam.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, what do you think?
He made the minimum last year, right? This is not.
He made a minimum with incentives that could have gone up to I think 7.
All right, so quickly,
Quite the raise he just made there. Interesting.
What does this mean? What does this mean for the Patriots? As Hope says, does Cam have enough to make it work? Is the question. What do you think? What do you make of the move?
Well, I think it just means that they're not counting on being able to get a quarterback in the draft, and Jimmy Garoppolo was going to be a little bit too much, or the 49ers wanted too much, because that was the word on the street, is that Jimmy Garoppolo was plan A for the Patriots, and they're sitting at number 15 in the draft, and I think they would take Mac Jones if he fell to 15, but right now it looks like all 5 of the elite quarterbacks are going to end up being top 12-ish picks. So I think they're just giving themselves a little bit of security. It's only a 1 year deal, so it's not like they're committed to him long term, and the Patriots have a ton of money, so it's just a little bit of security there and high upside play.
And quickly, not so much Maryland, Michigan at 11:30, but you've got a big day at 11 o'clock. There's a big pro day you're into.
Trey Lance is pro day today. Get to see the kid throw. Strongest arm in the draft class. His accuracy is today.
Oh, brutal, Bill. Just poking the bear at the end of the show. Well done.
No,
sir.
hey, you don't understand. Off air, he said it. The girlfriend's out of town this weekend for him this weekend. I got a feeling it's just what about 70 hours of film? Just Trey Lance breakdown the entire time.
I'm gonna watch every throw of Trey Lance's.
Attaboy.
Don't worry, the integrated media guys are already in heavy negotiations with Patrick's agent about him becoming their next spokesman and being billed as the world's best quarantiner. It's going to be a whole campaign. Oh, yeah, Jay, watch out. Patrick just said, the competition out here is great. Appreciate you joining the show today or enjoying the show. We're going to have fun at the golf tournament. See you guys on Monday.
Later.
Ooh, that delay at the end got us, huh?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I think Bill, did you notice that? And that's why you kept jumping in?
Huh?
I noticed it.
Did you? Yeah, no. Tim was on a delay there at the end.
That was fun radio. Fun radio stuff. All right, guys. Next time, I promise I go live on location. I'll bring a whole professional lighting kit with me so you won't have this Darth Vader effect. And we'll get some pictures of the other people I'm talking to off camera. Bill, feel better, huh?
Yeah, that's the goal. We should be good to go starting on Monday, I think. So hopefully so. Hopefully another day of rest will get us there.
See you guys on Monday.
Hit them well. Y'all have fun.